So are we stopping and doing it again?
No, we're not stopping it. We're just gonna go. The show must go on. Alright, welcome everyone. You're listening to episode 24 of the recurring Bosscast. I'm Jett from Splitkick.com. With me is Jason from Inside Gaming Daily and Slick Gaming.
I am back.
Woohoo! And also with us is Matt from Biff Bam Pop and the Screamin' Ego.
Jason is back.
Woo!
And this is, besides Jason being back, this is a very special episode for all of us, because this episode we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary of recording podcasts together.
Yay! We need to get like some big fanfare music or something going on in the background.
Final Fantasy victory music.
Yeah, or like the treasure chest opening from Zelda.
Yeah, that's how the show should start.
Okay, I will see what I can do on that front. But for everyone else, we are going to add the original, currently unnamed podcast, very first episode, at the end of this one. So after you are done listening to this one, just let it roll, and you will listen to our very first podcast together ever. For better or worse.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Don't judge us on it, please.
So I actually went back and listened to it, and I tried to clean it up a little bit. I fixed some of the volume issues that there were in there before, but there's still a lot of background noise and weird, awkward silences that I couldn't clean up. But it's there.
What did we even talk about?
We talked about Fan Expo.
Oh,
amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all full circle. Yeah.
So that's why we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary on this particular one. If anyone was wondering, our 1 year recording anniversary is September 7th, which is this Saturday.
Nice.
So guys, I know everyone wants to know, did I get punched in the face by Hulk Hogan by asking him for an autograph on his adult tape?
Because I heard you were stalking him.
Yeah, I heard the same.
So I did run into Hulk Hogan on the very last day of the show.
Like you ran directly into him, or?
That would probably make you punch him in the face.
Yeah, really.
We were shopping at the sports memorabilia booth, one of the many at Fan Expo this year, and Steph says, "It's Hulk Hogan right there." I'm like, what? I turn around. There he is. And he's just with his bodyguards, and like Hulk Hogan needs bodyguards. Come on.
Right,
now.
exactly.
He's gigantic. He's a little shorter than I thought, but super muscular, and his skin is really leathery.
Yeah, that's about right.
Ew.
So, I mean, I had all the time in the world to just run up to him and at least say hello. I did not have a copy of the tape on me, but I just took pictures instead.
Oh, so we never got... The tape thing never turned out, eh?
No, but I wouldn't have needed $300 if I just had the tape on me at that exact moment.
That's true.
Wait, it cost $300 for his thing?
So, he had a special event where if you spent $300... you were guaranteed a one-on-one session with the Hulkster, and he'll autograph some stuff for you and get a picture with him.
Wow.
So I guess the original plan was I would Kickstarter this, get the $300 to buy the ticket, and then get him to sign the tape. So at least if I bought that package, I was guaranteed to meet him.
Right.
That didn't happen, though.
Sorry, Jett.
I did get to ask Joe Montana a question.
Amazing. What did you ask him?
It was a question for Jim, actually. When... True story. Wow. I was talking in the internal Splitkick group, and I said, "Hey, I'm 30 feet away from Joe Montana." And he says, "Oh my god, if you get me his autograph, I will kiss you on the mouth."
I saw that. I read that.
And I immediately looked in the guidebook to see if he was doing any more autographs, and I just missed it. So I was thinking, is there any other way I can get Joe Montana to acknowledge Jim? So then I sent Jim a message on Twitter, like, "Hey, give me a message for Joe Montana." And he says something like, "Do you think Cap is a chump?" And and so he didn't understand the context that I was asking as part of a Q&A. So I just did it, and I recorded it, and I think it ended up getting broadcasted on Toronto radio.
Amazing.
Nice.
So, yes, this question from Jim Hunter through me got broadcast to thousands of people.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and Joe Montana looked a little stunned when I asked that.
Amazing.
What did he say?
Well, I asked two questions. Is he a chump? And can you say hi to Jim? And I think he got taken aback by both things, and he just answered the question. But he in a very long-winded answer for the first one.
Right. Of course.
Otherwise, Fan Expo was pretty awesome this year. Huge event. Lots of awesome celebs there that I ran into. Got to see pretty much every panel I wanted to see. The sports panels were great, even though no one showed up. So I got to see Doug Gilmour, Roberto Alomar, Tony Molitor, and
Paul
Molitor and Tony Fernandez. All awesome panels.
Nobody showed up to them?
No. They were...
Really? Wow.
It was really disappointing, because not that many dedicated sports fans showed up to the show, and the few that did have no idea how any of these types of shows work. So I got the sense that a lot of them did not know that these panels were even happening.
That's
right.
too bad.
So Joe Montana had no more than 20 people in that room watching.
Really?
Doug Gilmour, about 15. The person that drew the most that I saw was Roberto Alomar, and he had about 50 people in there.
That's
Holy
fair,
cow.
I guess.
I mean, compared to, say, The Walking Dead, which had 1,000 people in line half an hour before the show even started.
Of course.
Huge difference.
But is that speaking to the fact that, it's not primarily a sports event?
Yes.
So, I mean, even though it was kind of a weird choice to add all the sports stars in anyway, in my opinion. But
True.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's kind of strange. It's like a mixing of cultures.
Yeah.
I hope they do it again next year and learn their lessons and make it bigger and better, but I have a hard time seeing them actually doing that. We talked to a few of the vendors in the sports side, and they said they were really disappointed in the turnout and the sales, and then no one showed up for the panel. So I could see them cutting their losses and just taking that space for more nerdy stuff, because they didn't have enough room for that.
I think that's better. I think that'd be a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for sports. I mean, I'm a huge sports fan, but I think that's got its place in its own expo. Not necessarily mixed in with Fan Expo.
Keep those jocks out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
My personal highlight of the show was I got to meet Allison Court, best known as the voice of Claire Redfield in Resident Evil,
Nice.
Jubilee in the X-Men cartoon, and Loonette from The Big Comfy Couch.
Amazing.
That's all the same person.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I kind of geeked out. It was kind of a surprise. We were playing Fan Expo Bingo, where we have these pre-made bingo cards, and you have to get people to sign off to say that they are that square. So, for instance, one of the squares says superhero bulge. So I'll go to a guy who's got a superhero bulge costume on and say, hey, can you sign this to say that you have superhero bulge? And we had this conversation. So One of the squares is free roaming celeb. And I was waiting for someone else one of my friends to get her signature. And I read the sign, Allison Court, star of all these things. And then and then I thought to myself, wait, Loonette from The Big Comfy Couch? And then I just went up to her and asked. And she was like, yep, that's me. And we just geeked out about the show, because I used to watch that show a lot with my little brother.
I remember
and
that.
And I talked about the mall tours that happened in the early 2000s. And the thing that freaked me out about those tours was that it was a decade after that show had started, and Loonette looked exactly the same. And I asked her about that, and she said, oh yeah, there was another girl, and you probably saw her, but I did 2 of the shows in the States, and we just kind of went from there.
Wow.
So,
that's probably the most she's ever been asked about The Big Comfy Couch.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess besides, where's Molly, and how is she so flexible on the clock stretches?
Exactly. Yeah. Just the key, real key stuff.
Yeah. Did she ever get to see those dust bunnies under the couch?
Yeah, because they were kind of horrifying. In a cute way.
So we'll talk about some more Fan Expo stuff in a bit. But I want to know what's going on with you guys. Jason, it's been a while. Where have you been?
It's been a long while, and actually trying to reflect on what I've been doing, I can't think of anything, but because I've been working so much, and I actually got a job promotion.
Hey!
Nice, man. Congratulations.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm a team lead for our job over here, and that's nice. A good pay increase and everything, and more responsibilities, so that's pretty fun. But really, it's just been work all the time. So, but I guess over the past, it's really been like a month since I talked to you guys. We saw the Monkees in concert.
What?
Yeah.
They still do shows?
The remaining Monkees, unfortunately. Yeah, they do shows.
That's
so
amazing.
They came here to California, and Laura's dad ended up getting tickets, so we all went and saw them, and it was pretty cool, actually.
Were they monkeying around?
Oh, they monkeyed around the whole time.
Amazing.
and I actually mean it, too, because they would, before the concert started, they had this, I guess you could call it a sizzle reel of all of their TV show moments and music videos all kind of spliced together. And that would always be playing while they were singing their songs on stage 2. And then when they would take breaks, they would just keep playing overhead music and then showing these clips, so it was like nonstop monkey action. So it was actually really entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. But that's pretty much it. It's just been a lot of work, which is sad.
And Matt, how about you? What's going on?
I kind of feel the same way. I've been working a ton. Haven't really had a lot of time for much stuff. But my mom moved this weekend, and we were cleaning up her garage, and I found a box that had a ton of old like Sega Genesis games and PSP games and a bunch of stuff in it. So yeah, it worked out really well. I got my Sega Genesis back in my house. I got about a ton of games. I don't even remember how many there were. And I found, I think, about 8 PSP games, including NHL 07. Ooh. Which not necessarily the best game ever, but near and dear to my heart. It was the only portable hockey game that was half decent. And yeah, basically just I found an old Super Nintendo just kicking around. I think it had Mario All-Stars with it.
Yes.
So yeah, that worked out well. So I significantly upped my my gaming collection in about 2 hours when I was cleaning out the garage. So worked out well.
I have a big question for you.
Okay.
Do you have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker?
You know what? At one point in my life, I did. I don't know where it is.
But not anymore?
No, I don't know where it is.
Oh, that game is amazing.
I know. With the lean, the spotlight lean.
Oh, God, it was so fun. Yeah. And I'm not being, like, facetious. It's really good.
No, for sure. The beginning with the quarter in the jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So memorable. And then that awesome 8-bit music.
Yeah. I definitely did have it at one point. But, I wasn't lucky enough to find that in the garage.
Too bad.
And yeah, and I'm going to the X this Saturday, and I'm staying away from Cronut Burgers.
So if our non-Torontonian listeners don't know, the CNE is, I guess the X is a very big carnival that happens in Canada. It's kind of funny. We actually did this spiel last year on the first episode, which you'll get to hear again. Anyway, there is a big scandal around the Cronut Burger, where over 200 cases of food poisoning have been reported from people eating this monstrosity of a burger. And they've actually isolated what it was that caused the sickness.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Was it the fact that it was a Cronut Burger?
It was the jam on the top.
Oh, okay.
So they've taken the jam out, and they are reselling the burger.
I would never buy one.
So... The Cronut Burger is what, Jett? Do you know exactly what it is?
No.
I think it's a... Oh, man. It's like
Isn't it a burger with donut buns?
Yeah, it's like a croissant. Like it's like a donut croissant as the bun with a cheeseburger on the inside and then jam and I think maybe cinnamon or something.
That sounds terrible.
But that's my point. Like, you go to the CNE and you get, first of all, you buy something called a Cronut Burger. What do you expect? What are you expecting to feel like after you finish it? That's my question. But yeah, so I'm going to the X, staying away from the Cronut Burger. But next podcast I'll report. I'm going to try some of the crazy stuff, so I'll keep a note of it for next time.
If Matt's not here next time, he tried it and he's unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, I got one with the jam on it.
The one slipped through.
Yeah.
We've got an email from JJ. This one's a little shorter than the last one. Not to say that the last one was too long. But he wants to chime in about sleeper hit NES games.
Okay.
So, Jason, I apologize, yes, on the show, but I'm sorry if we screwed up your games.
It's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, so JJ says, I don't know if some of these count as sleeper hits, but I didn't know many people back in the NES days, in my circle of friends at least, who were playing these. So he's got here Rygar, Goonies 2, and Batman's Secret Castle. I'm sure I'm missing some. I'll email more if I think of them. So we'll stop here. Actually, he has some other stuff, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Goonies 2 is one of my favorite NES games. I didn't put it on my list because I wasn't sure if that was sleeper enough.
I don't know if I would say any of these are sleeper enough for me, but they're all really good. And they're not Mario level amazing in terms of sales and stuff, but I'd say they're pretty close to being sleeper hits, but I don't know.
Well, from what I can remember,
all really good.
Rygar was kind of like a Contra clone, was it not?
Yeah, that's where you have like the shield yo-yo thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean like side-scrolling, like platforming, and then it also had that sort of overhead kind of isometric thing. But I don't know. Yeah.
I always hear of Milan's Secret Castle, but I've never played it.
I've never even heard of it, to be honest.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Heard of it, never played it.
Yeah. So maybe that is a sleeper hit then.
Boom.
All
He
three of
also
us.
goes on to say, one SNES game I can't get out of my head. Axelay. I love 2D
that's a
side-scrolling
good
shooters
one.
like Gradius 3, and Axelay was at the time a lesser-known shooter that filled the shooter gap waiting for the next Gradius game. I remember being at the bottom of a clearance barrel, well, a clearance bin, and the two games I was considering at the time were Axelay and Illusion of Gaia, and I ended up going with Illusion of Gaia instead.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything
I would have
about
done the
either
same
game.
thing, but yeah.
I compared the back of the boxes and said, I'm going to try this one.
The fact that either of those was in a clearance bin is just beyond me.
Is Gradius related to Darius?
Another
Another SNES 2D side-scrolling shooter?
I don't know.
It was the one. It's the other shoot 'em up, and most of the bad guys are fish-like things.
I'm not sure.
Here we
Oh,
go.
no, I'll look it up real quick.
Darius, I'm looking up the pics. Yes, it is. I think they're related. Anyway.
It says here Darius offers more replayability on the surface, but it's about 4 stages longer than Gradius.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they're related somehow.
That game was also awesome. So I've been playing some modern stuff. A little bit, not really much in the way of games, but I played Dive Kick.
Nice, how was it?
Oh, yeah.
I am of two minds with that game.
Was it both divey and kicky?
Yes, you do
Amazing.
a lot of diving and kicking. I think on one hand, there's a very cool idea in there that works really well mechanically, where you can play it very seriously or just have fun with it. But at a certain point, that game gets more complicated without getting better for it. So there are certain characters and certain gameplay mechanics that don't really add to the fun. Because even if it's only 2 buttons, there's a lot of different button combinations you have to remember. So hitting kick while you're on the ground makes you jump backwards. And then if you hit both buttons at the same time while you're on the ground or in the air, it activates a different special move, depending on if you have enough meter for it. And if you let your meter fully max out, you get kick factor, which boosts all of your abilities. And I think at a certain point, it doesn't make the game any better. It just makes it more complicated. At the very beginning, they had kind of sold this game as a simple fighting game that provides all the joy of a fighting game without the crazy learning curve or the execution.
Right.
Except that at a certain point, they changed the scope of the game, and now it's pretty much as complicated as any other fighting game.
That's kind of funny.
Even if it's only 2 buttons.
Yeah.
So, also there's a lot of fighting game in-jokes, and they're really esoteric. I get almost all of them, but I can see how a lot of people, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and they do wear out pretty quick. And I'm not just mad because Ben kicked my butt the first time we played. I've gotten better since. My Dr. Scholes is something to be reckoned with at this point. So,
Zing.
It's not about that. I'm learning a Kickstart guide for that too, but in a weird way, I think that game would have been better with less stuff in it.
Well, that was kind of its premise, though, right? Like,
Yes.
dive and kick, and that's it. So, it was, I don't know. That's kind of on them.
Yeah, I almost wish that it was a $5 game with less characters in it and less mechanics.
Yeah.
If you are not interested in Dive Kick, don't go out of your way to play it, and if you are interested, it's probably worth $10, but it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread either.
What's the replayability like on it? Would you go back to it?
That's weird as well. I think that if you're not playing locally with friends, then you're just playing it like any other fighting game online. And at that
And there are
point,
much better fighting games.
yeah, at that point, like, why don't I just play Marvel, where there's a lot more people playing and it's a lot more deep versus this one-hit kill game?
So you're saying it's not going to be at EVO 2014?
No.
Oh, okay. Case closed.
Maybe in the parking lot in some guy's car.
Across the street.
And maybe I'm not necessarily the target. I don't even know who this is targeted for, because I'd like to say, no, it's not for me, but then all of the in-joke stuff is absolutely for me, and all of the deeper mechanics are for someone like me, but I don't know.
It's like they were trying to please too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of think they fell short on everything.
That's sad.
I did play a lot of tabletop stuff, though.
Yeah.
I bought some games from Fan Expo based on the strength of some recommendations from the fine folks at Snakes and Lattes. We picked up the DC deck building game. So it is a game kind of like Dominion, where you start out with a handful of currency and vulnerability, and you build up your deck and play these cards, and ultimately to take out a whole bunch of supervillains and win the game.
Nice.
And what I like about it is that it's like Dominion, but it's a lot simpler, where a lot of cards function as multiple things. So almost every card is an action and victory points at the same time.
Oh, nice.
There is, instead of just 10 preset cards you can pick up, the entire deck is in play, but only 5 cards are there at a time. So once you pick one up, then another one gets pulled from the top of the deck, so you get a wide variety of different things.
Mm.
So it's a little easier to pick up, and it's still a lot of fun.
That's cool.
My only problem right now is the Riddler card. There is one card that is really ambiguous, and I don't know what it means. Like, you could read it in a way that completely breaks the game. So...
Do you have it as an example?
Here, let me pull it up.
In the meantime, I love
vamp for
Dominion.
me.
That game is amazing.
Matt, have you played Dominion?
No, I have not.
I highly recommend. It's a 4-player deck building game. It's super fun.
That was the deck building game that got me into deck building games.
Yeah, same. It's cool.
I can honestly say I've never played a deck building game, period.
Then you should come over and play some DC Comics deck building game.
You should.
I will take you up on that. I'm actually quite
Here's
interested.
the card. It says, you may pay 3 power. If you do, gain the top card of the main deck. Use this ability any number of times this turn. So, in theory, I could flip over a Robin card, which is plus 1 power, and gain an equipment card from my discard pile and put it back in my deck. So if I can use this any in a number of times I want, in theory, I could just keep stacking plus 1 powers and buy everything. Or at least it sounds like I could.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Because if it's just like infinite power, then yep, I'll scoop up every single card.
Yeah, really, that's kind of
weird. That seems kind of broken to me. So I've asked on their Facebook page. I'm probably going to sign up on their message boards and say it, because otherwise this card seems pretty broken.
Wait, when it says you can use it any number of times this turn, they mean the Riddler card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Do they mean...
I would assume they mean the Riddler card. So you could just keep buying the top card.
Okay. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I pay 3 power, I get this card, and I can use it once, and then just keep paying for... Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, maybe that's... I'm not sure, though. It could be the other way.
So each time you have to spend 3 power.
Yes. Okay. Sounds great. All right. DC deck building game. Best deck building game.
The message boards won't be hearing from Jett.
All right. That's... Thank you, Jason. I truly appreciate that.
No problem. Actually,
we do here. We solve
cool.
problems.
And the other game I played was Love Letter, which is a very simple card game. And kind of the premise is the princess has locked herself in her castle, and you, as all the players, are trying to get your love letters to her and woo the princess over, and then you fall in love and get married or whatever.
That is awesome.
And so it's a simple card game. There's only, I think, 16 cards in the deck, and you only have no more than 1 card in your hand at a time, and you're kind of taking one and playing one, and whoever's closest to the princess at the end of the round gets a point until someone has the most points and wins. And it's a very simple game that you can play through in 10 to 15 minutes, but it's a lot of fun in short bursts, and it makes for a great palate cleanser between games.
Nice. You know, sometimes those are like the best games, the ones that only take a few minutes. So that's good.
For sure. It was definitely a change of pace versus DC Deck Builder, where Steph and I were playing it, and sometimes those games can go over an hour when it's your turn and you get all these boosts and you just keep stacking cards on cards on cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Love Letter is really great. And it was only $10, so
hey,
why
that's
not?
a win.
Jason, what have you been playing?
I've been in this weird, conundrum where I don't know what to play, which is ridiculous because there's so many things that I have to play. So even at work today, I was taking suggestions for what I need to get into. But anyways, the past few weeks I was just going back and playing stuff that I hadn't gotten around to, and the only one of relevance that I'm sure Jett will like is I finally played Crash Team Racing. So,
you have not played that up until this point?
No, I had played it. I never played my copy because my friend always had it.
Oh, okay.
And so playing it now, that's still a really good game. And it looks really blocky, but the racing and the tracks are really unique and fun. So that game held up pretty well. And I thought, Jett, that you had said that was a game that Steph could beat you in?
She always beats me in Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, Laura's beaten me a few times too. So it's so weird. I'm like, what is happening? It's happening all over. But yeah, it's it was fun. So I'm probably not going to play it anymore. I played it twice through, but I mean, it was a good game, so I really enjoyed it. Beyond that, Laura's sister was here before she went back to college, and she wanted to play The Walking Dead because her Xbox 360 wasn't able to run it because of that weird glitchy thing.
Okay.
So we played it, and she had to go back to school, but eventually, within like 4 days, Laura finished all 5 chapters.
Nice.
So
Amazing.
she got hooked really fast.
So I'm assuming she loved it.
Yeah, I think she liked it a lot. And so there are some
Nice.
things, like I was watching her play, and she answered usually the same way I would answer, but there were some things that she wouldn't do the same way. And in particular, for some reason, Kenny really, really didn't like her. So and I was like, man, like when I played the game, he was just like, yeah, Lee, I'll help you out. But for her, it's like, no, F you didn't save Duck and all these things. So it was kind of weird. I mean, it was neat to see it like that. And she didn't cry in the end, but I cried in the end.
Oh, I totally cried at the end.
Yeah, I remembered.
Yeah.
So, but that was pretty much it. So it's pretty straightforward for me. Hopefully you guys have more going on.
At Fan Expo, I went to the Walking Dead panel, and I'm only about halfway into Season 2.
Yeah, same actually.
So, I really wanted to go to this panel because I really love that show, but I was concerned about spoilers. And we had gone to a couple of other panels, and no one had really talked about spoilers in those. So we're like, okay, let's just do it. And then the moderator on the very first question, just spoiler. And we just get inundated with spoilers leading up to the last season. And it killed me on the inside. Just like, this is ruined for me.
Yeah.
All these moments. So we...
You know what, though? The moments themselves in the show, I mean, even if they're spoiled, which is, you don't really get the full effect of them, but the show is still really good. And the way it's presented. So still watch it.
This is true. Good. I'm over halfway through Season 2 now. We marathoned through a few episodes yesterday, and I think it picks up in the second half. I thought the first half of Season 2 was
Season 2, that's the farmhouse one, right? Yeah. It lags a lot for about the first 3 quarters. Then the end of that season though is really good.
That's where I'm headed towards now. So don't spoil it.
Yeah,
no spoilers.
Nope.
I'm in the same place.
Are you really?
Yeah,
That's
we
amazing.
just started watching it.
I feel like I have so much power right now.
Don't go spoiling Game of Thrones either for me. I've only watched 3 episodes of that.
The Thrones win. Yeah, no, that's fine.
And Matt, what do you got going on?
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, not a whole lot of time this week, but I did buy the Origin Humble Bundle.
Nice. I'm on
Today
the
was
fence,
the last
and I'm
day.
running out of time, so I don't know what I should
Just do it, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, just do it,
There's
man.
so many awesome games in that bundle.
I know, but okay.
They really are.
Maybe this is a good time to clarify. I feel like when I buy the Humble Bundles, because I bought, I think, 3 or 4, I have to do more than the average, but I feel really guilty, like only paying $5. So I want to pay like 20 or 25 to make it feel like legit. And it's like, okay, like I don't feel guilty for this, and I'm doing a good cause. So I don't know right now if I want to spend $25 for all those games. So I don't know.
That's still 10 games for $25.
I know,
And
but
they're-
I wouldn't play The Sims. I know I wouldn't play The Sims. And
9
I don't
games
think
for-
I would play Battlefield, and those are some of the big ones, so it's...
8 games for $25.
don't justify it like that.
Dead Space 1 and 3.
I know.
Yeah,
Crisis
no,
2.
2. Dead Space 2,
Mirror's
3.
Edge.
Or 1 and 3,
Command
yeah.
and Conquer.
But I already have some of them, so
so
I don't
good.
know. I'll probably...
Well,
end
that's
up
what.
getting
Yeah,
it
I had a
like
few of
1
these games to
second
start
ago.
out. Yeah, I had a few of these games to start out too,
Yeah.
so I kind of factored that into what I paid for
Fair
it.
enough.
But yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with it though.
True.
Even if you're not going to play them, you still have them. So one day, if you decide to play them,
That's a good
they're
point.
there.
I just read an article before this that it's like the highest selling Humble Bundle to date for charities.
Yeah, it's over twice. It sold over twice the amount of the last highest selling.
And I think
Humble Bundle,
the check for the article was written like 2 days ago. It was like almost $9 million raised. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's great, man. But I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Battlefield 3 alone, I think, was like $59 when it first got released. It's still $29 or $30 by itself.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, yeah. It's
How
crazy.
about Jason? You pay the $4.93 to unlock everything, and then donate $20 to one of these other charities that they list on the site.
I guess I could do that actually.
There you go.
Maybe
Then you
I
don't
will.
feel like a dirtbag.
I know.
So I think mystery solved. Jason's going to buy the Humble Origin bundle and tell us all about Populous.
Populous? Wow.
I'll probably play that first. Yeah.
I have no idea what Populous is. I'm not gonna.
Only available for Origin, by the way.
Yeah, I saw
Populous.
that. Yeah, the symbol.
Mm.
Yeah. Which is really stupid because now I have copies of all of those games on both Steam and Origin.
Yeah.
and I redeemed them for both just because.
Hey, I
it's
do.
really
I mean,
dumb.
yeah, you
and I'm
bought 'em.
assuming that. Well, that's true, but I'm assuming that because Steam has this really sort of counterintuitive way of if you buy something, you can register your Origin games in Steam, but launching them through Steam in turn launches them through Origin, which is the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Totally
But,
the dumbest thing. So just
Well, they're
Steam,
competing.
right?
That's why.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
No one got the joke.
I didn't even hear you. What did you say?
Yeah, that is the stupidest thing. So you should just drop Steam and just move everything to
Yeah.
Origin.
Clearly,
Right.
Origin's superior.
Yeah, Origin is the one that's going to win this battle. Yeah.
All right, so let's move into our Bosscast topic of the week, and we are going to go back to Fan Expo. And
Yay.
leading up into the show, I thought this was going to be a horrible video game year because there weren't that many major guests, no panels, and only a handful of games being advertised. And then when I got there, Microsoft and Sony had a presence, and they had everything.
Nice.
So, pretty much, the Xbox One was there with a bunch of games, the PlayStation 4 was there with a bunch of games, I saw a bunch of current-gen stuff coming out, even the Wii U was there. So, let's start. You guys have any questions about the Xbox One or PS4 or anything?
Are they big? Sorry. Wait, what?
No, go
You
ahead.
guys go for it.
That's a good start.
Yeah, are they big? Are they physically big boxes?
So, the PlayStation 4 was not shown at all. It was either hidden behind displays or it's probably just a big PC running the games right now.
Right.
The Xbox One was on display, though, and all the games are running off of that hardware. The Xbox One looks a lot better in real life than it does in the pictures. And it
Good.
does not look
Really?
as big. It's about the same size as an original Xbox 360.
Okay. That's fair.
That's not too bad.
And in real life, I thought it actually looked pretty nice.
Does it worry you that the PlayStation 4 still isn't showing its hardware?
No, I don't think so. At least I'm telling myself I don't think so.
Right.
It'll be out on November 15th, and I trust in Sony to be able to deliver on that.
Yeah.
So you held both controllers,
I have held both of them.
and historically, which is your favorite?
Xbox.
And what about now? Still Xbox?
The slightest of advantages to the Xbox One controller.
Really?
I think that I have no idea how they did it, but I do not have a problem with the location of the left analog stick on the PlayStation 4 controller.
Good.
Really?
I don't know if it's because they made it a little wider or they placed it in a way where my thumb is a little more vertical, but I did not have any problems using that stick. The resistance on both sticks is a little more tense, so that it makes it easier to control with precision.
That's good.
Let's go with the Xbox One controller. I need to refresh my memory. Let me pull up a picture, and I can talk about specific points.
Okay.
In the meantime, the triggers on both controllers were really good. In particular, the PlayStation 4 triggers are a big step up because they're actually shaped like triggers, and pulling them felt very good.
That's good. So your fingers aren't going to slip off anymore.
No. The D-pad on the Xbox One is excellent. It feels like a really good Nintendo D-pad.
Oh, that's good.
So basically, both of the faults in both controllers have been fixed.
Yes.
Which is great.
Okay.
So they almost come around to being the exact same controller in a weird roundabout way. I think the Xbox One controller is a little lighter, but the PS4 one feels a little more solid.
It's kind of funny. That's almost the opposite of when they released, because that 6-axis was like a feather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are both equally good, and people will not be disappointed with either of them. I wanted to try the touchpad. It clicks in like a trackpad, but none of the games that I played supported it, and none of the games I played on, well, I'd hit the share button on Assassin's Creed 4, and it just paused the game. Not the share button, the options button, but there was no real...
Maybe it's just not set up. Yeah.
I know Aaron, I posed this question on Facebook, like, ask me anything about the Xbox One. And he got into super hardcore questions about friends lists and the OS, and it was just event staff people working there on this. When I went and played the PlayStation 4, I recognized one of my friends working the booth, and I'm like, I know she doesn't know anything about this system.
Yeah.
So, no offense to her.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful person, and she's doing her job, and she knew what she needed to do to get the job done, but she was not going to be the person to answer those types of questions.
Right.
Like, for instance, one of the girls went up to a guy beside me and said, hey, this is the PlayStation 4, it's going to cost $400, and it's got a 500 gigabyte hard drive and 8 gigabytes of RAM. That was the spiel.
Wow.
Nice. Straightforward.
Sold.
Jeez. Was there? So they didn't have anybody there that could answer any technical questions?
Assassin's Creed 4 at the Ubisoft booth. The girl was there just to see if I had finished playing the game so that she could hand me free stuff.
Good
And
lord.
the guy at Drive Club, he knew a little more. He was like, okay, well, if Drive Club plays like somewhere in between Gran Turismo and Need for Speed. That was probably the most intelligent thing I heard.
Wow. Oh. It hurts especially for me because I used to do PlayStation promotions and like we knew our stuff back and front.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess now it's not that important, which is so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, both controllers, really good. The Xbox One looks really pretty. In general, I think most of those games look like slightly up-resed versions of what we have now, except for Killer Instinct.
Yeah?
Better or worse?
I think Killer Instinct is hands down the prettiest looking game on next gen right now.
Wow.
Nice.
Big statement.
And they had sizzle reel stuff for Titanfall, for Destiny, and I think of the games that were there, Killer Instinct was the one that stood out as this is a next gen game.
Wow.
Now, do you say that because it looks like the graphics just look more updated, or is it just a more completed game?
Sorry, say that last bit again?
Or is it just a game that's closer to completion, so it looks better in that sense?
No, it had nothing to do with completion. It was just look at this screen and look at this screen, and which one looks newer or better. And Killer Instinct looks insane in person. The level of detail in those graphics and how smooth that animation is unreal. Well, I don't know if it's Unreal Engine, but
Hey-o.
it looks amazing. And I guess we can start talking about the games that I played. I did play some Killer Instinct, and oh my goodness, that game really caught me off guard.
Okay.
I was ready to say, man, this game plays terribly, and it totally doesn't.
That's good. That is a game I'm really, really worried about, so I'm glad that you say that.
Oh, I'm still worried about it. I think the pricing model for it is kind of gross, and I'm very concerned with what is actually in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But when I played it, it plays like Street Fighter 4 with the Killer Instinct combo engine on top of it.
Fair
Wow.
enough.
So there are a lot of little nuances in how they have tuned the frame data so that the moves act kind of like Street Fighter 4 moves, and there's cross-ups and tick throws, and all of the strategy stuff that you started in Street Fighter 4 still all works, and it just has the KI combo system on top with combo breakers and all of that stuff. So I probably would need more time to get a feel for the combo system itself, but I could pull off some like 15, 20 hit combos with super finishers at the end. Like in one match, I was able to figure that part out. So that was fun.
Who were you able to play as?
I played as Jago.
Oh, yeah.
And my opponent played as Saberwolf.
Saberwolf.
Surprise.
I think this build was the one that had Glacius and maybe Chief Thunder.
Oh, cool.
I remember seeing him in at least the video feed that they had. I don't know if he was playable, but I did play as Jago, and it was good. And there was a remix of the... I don't even know if it's the Killer Instinct song or the dojo music.
Oh, yeah, from the original one?
Yes, it's remixed there, and it sounds great.
You know what's sad is I'm pretty sure that name of that song from the first game is called Feel It Now. Or no, Do It Now. It's Do It Now. Yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm happy to hear that the game plays well. Because it doesn't look like how I wanted it to look, but
Oh, man, when you see it in person on a 1080p big screen TV, it is gorgeous.
I guess it's not really how technically good it looks. I'm just thinking of how it doesn't look like Killer Instinct that I remember, and I'm kind of scared about that. Because like for Street Fighter, like when Street Fighter came back, it was clearly Ryu and Ken. You know, you knew who they were. But I see Jago and Saberwolf, and they just look so different. And it's and Thunder's like almost the worst one, you know. So it's it's a little fishy. But I'm sure if the gameplay is fine, it'll actually be okay. So I can get over that.
I have high hopes
Good.
that this game will pan out. I mean, there's still all sorts of things they could do to screw it up.
Of course.
From a really crummy business model to weird infinite combos and horrible balance and all that type of stuff. But from what I played, they are on the right track.
Good.
And you're probably the only person I would trust with that endorsement.
Yeah. Or they paid him a lot when you finish.
Oh, just the money. I did get a badge that says I was the first to play the Xbox One, or at least one of the first. And one of the neat things they did at the booth was they gave you a badge, and then on the back there were slots for stickers. So each time you played a game, they would give you a sticker as an achievement for playing that game.
That's pretty cool.
So, unfortunately, I think they gave me a Killer Instinct one and a generic Xbox One sticker.
No.
What else did I see there? I played Assassin's Creed 4. That was my first time touching the PlayStation 4 controller, and it is also very nice. As for Assassin's Creed 4, it is exactly what you think it is.
Just a little better looking.
Just the slightest bit better looking.
I mean, those games are pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, even in this generation, so it would be difficult to notice a huge jump on a PlayStation 4.
Most of the animations were the same. The demo was very, very limited in scope. It was, go destroy this fort in your pirate ship. And so you go shoot cannonballs at this fort. And then there would be other pirate ships circling you, and you could get off the steering wheel and then jump on the other pirate ship and kill some pirates.
Cool.
The combat's exactly the same. There was one interesting bit where I killed everyone on the other pirate ship, and the game stopped for a second, and it gave me a decision to make. Either steal this ship or replace my current one. Or repair my current one. So I chose to repair the current one, and the other ship sank.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
I'm curious to see where they go with the decision making.
Yeah, really.
But otherwise, it's Assassin's Creed. If you like it already, you'll probably like it some more. If you're tired of them, you'll just don't bother. One of the games that I saw briefly that is not on my giant list here is Watch Dogs.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
So I saw video feed of it, and it looks incredible. And they were doing behind closed doors demos of the game where you could watch someone play it, like a guided tour.
Nice.
I did not take part in that. I just saw what I saw on the screen, and it looks awesome.
What is the
I'm really excited about that.
release date for Watch Dogs? Do we know?
I think November 5th. It's coming out on launch.
It's launch, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the most impressive games I saw as well. At the PlayStation booth, they only had 3 games. It was Assassin's Creed 4, which you can play at Ubisoft, Drive Club, and Knack. Oh, I haven't talked about Drive Club yet.
No, yeah. How was Drive
Do
Club?
that one.
Okay, so one of the things about the racing games that I noticed is a lot of those trailers and those screen grabs, they are all phony baloney. Those games don't look nearly that good in real life.
Yeah.
So getting into that car, it doesn't feel that good?
It looks okay. I mean, once again, slightly up-res version of a current-gen game. I think, in particular, Drive Club looks especially bland. I mean, realistic, yes, but kind of boring. I thought Forza looked a little more interesting of the two. I did not play Forza. The demo was very limited for Drive Club. It was a time trial race, and so I only got to do 2 laps around this track. But one of the neat things I liked about it were there were a lot of in-race challenges that popped up throughout. So someone playing before me scored 800 points by doing a particular corner a certain way, and they'll show you the driving line, and then you have to match it and see if you can beat that other person. Or there would be challenges where you'd have to exceed a certain speed at this particular checkpoint, and it showed the other person's avatar as you're driving by, and that was kind of cool.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I saw the PlayStation camera. It's really small. It's less than half of the width of a Wii U Sensibar and about twice as thick.
That's not bad.
It's really small.
Yeah, but the PlayStation camera is going to be a moot point anyway. No one's going to use it.
No one will use it.
It's not coming shipped with it, so it's going to die.
As far as controlling Drive Club goes, it felt a lot like Project Gotham Racing. So it is kind of halfway towards sim and arcade. Yeah, so not really for me, but it's a thing. I was a little disappointed in Knack.
Oh, man, I was that's one of the games I was excited for when I saw the PS4 announcement way back when.
Yeah, it looks like a very generic platforming game. You're a robot, you punch things, you fall apart to get out of the way of lasers and stuff. It looked very pedestrian in execution. The art style is very plain, and I guess the thing that's pushing it technologically is your dude with all the little bits, but it's not all that to look at, and it just played like From what I saw, it just looked very mediocre.
Lame. That's too bad.
But it is aimed at kids.
Yes.
So
There was also some frame rate issues in that game, which is kind of odd.
Huh.
It wasn't consistent. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't consistent.
that sounds like bad programming, though. not a hardware issue.
There was one point in the game where I saw someone play where the game froze for a minute.
Ugh.
And then I thought the demo just crashed and someone was going over to fix it, and then the game just started again.
Wow.
It's like, no, sir, you're just too good at this game.
Wink.
It had to catch up with you.
What else? Man, so many games. I feel like I'm doing I guess I am doing a lot of the talking here because I was at the show.
Yep.
Rayman Legends looks phenomenal. That's out soon. They were demoing Rise multiplayer. I didn't even know multiplayer was a thing in that
I didn't
game,
either.
And it looked really... Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys sounded like you cut out there for a sec.
I heard a click or something, but...
Yes, I heard the click. Oh well. It had Rise multiplayer, and it was about as deep as you would expect a beat-em-up turned fighting game to be. So It was really lame. It looks better in real life than it does in the videos online and stuff, but totally not interested at all. They had a sizzle reel for Titanfall. That gameplay still looks great, but it did not look, like, visually all that sharp, which I found really odd. I don't know if that's just because it's a video of the game rather than it actually being live feed.
Right.
But I was a little disappointed in that, but I'm hoping that they clean that up.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 3, I only saw a few seconds of that. It's Dead Rising, higher res, more zombies on screen. Call of Duty Ghosts, same thing. Destiny, I don't know. I'm take it or leave it on that one too. I've heard it's a lot more like Borderlands than Halo, which makes me a lot more interested in it, but I don't know. It wasn't the most impressive thing I saw there. They also had Beyond Two Souls on the PlayStation 3. Not many people were lined up for that. I didn't get a chance to play it, but it looks like Heavy Rain with some weird purple ghost thing.
Yeah, that you control with both sticks, which is really awkward.
Yeah. I didn't get to play it, so I can't say either way. It looks really pretty.
People are saying I think it might be too ambitious. A lot of people, I don't know. I was excited when I first saw the reel of it, and then when I found out Ellen Page was in it, everything kind of, I was excited, but I don't know. As it's gotten a little bit more revealed, should I say, I'm losing interest in it pretty rapidly.
That's sad.
Batman Arkham Origins looks like another Batman game. And we'll wrap up on Scribblenauts Unmasked, which was really sad. Not because the game is bad, but it was a Wii U game, and no one wanted to touch that thing with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, man, I would have played that.
I didn't even play it when it was empty.
Aww.
I'm sorry, and I own one. I guess that one, the premise of that is it now includes DC dudes, so you can call Batman to help you out and stuff like that. But
Seems kind of shameless.
Hey, money is money.
Yeah, buy our game. It's got Batman in it now, and Batman is Ben Affleck.
Yeah. We won't even
What do
touch
you guys
that one,
think?
don't worry.
we're going there.
Oh.
What do you guys think of Ben Affleck as Batman?
Have you guys seen? Somebody created a fan made trailer, and it's got Ben Affleck as Batman. It's basically like a bunch of his movies spliced together. It's really well done. It's got Affleck as Batman. It's got Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor, and basically, it's somebody made a feature trailer, and it's fantastic. And that's the first thing I've seen that's actually made me convinced that maybe Ben Affleck could pull off Batman.
Wow, I have to look for this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a link to it.
Wasn't he also Daredevil and
He also played. Yeah, he played. I want to say George Reeves in Hollywoodland.
Okay.
One of the Reeves. So he's technically played Superman and Daredevil. So Batman's next in the
Chronological order. Yeah.
yeah, basically.
One of the things I noticed about the people at Fan Expo, all of the stuff that we have criticized Microsoft for, they are completely oblivious to, or just do not care. They don't care about the DRM stuff, they don't care about the Kinect, they don't care about it being $100 more. For all of them, it's, holy cow, this is the new Xbox, it looks great, and my friends are all going to get one of these too, so I'm going to go buy it.
Really?
And the people on the PlayStation side were the exact same way. This is the console I want because this is the one I had last time, and this is the one all my friends have.
And this is really not a surprise to anybody. I mean, if it is, you weren't looking hard enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the stuff that at the very least I complain about, does not really apply to the general populace, or at least the Fan Expo crowd, which is not necessarily a hardcore gaming crowd.
Yeah.
I also saw Just Dance 2014 there, and it's got the Ghostbusters theme song now.
Winning.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it has that Gentleman song by Psy.
Oh,
Bringing it full circle, because we talked about Psy on the first episode last year.
Wow.
amazing.
Time flies. All right, so who do you think won Fan Expo? Like Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo? Like an E3 thing?
I think Microsoft did.
Yeah.
Partially because they had the best looking games there. And also they had they had a smaller booth, but they did way more with it.
That's good.
So Sony had a bigger booth, but they only had 6 screens going. Microsoft had a smaller booth, and they had 22.
Jeez.
So they could show way more stuff and have more people playing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. 22 screens. It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities for people to play and see the Xbox One.
Did Microsoft at least have any knowledgeable people on site?
Mm,
Or was it kind of the same?
they knew how to go into the debug screen and make the game work again.
Hey,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, though. The system is going to break, so we're going to teach you how to fix it when it does.
that's true.
Interesting.
So are you now...
So which game would you say
Yeah.
caught you the most?
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Okay, aside from Killer Instinct.
Aside from Killer Instinct, Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Yeah,
From what I saw, I didn't get to play it. Didn't see it. I did see someone playing it, but
but it looked the best?
yes.
Right on.
So are you
Game-
leaning more towards an Xbox now? Because you were going PS4, right?
Personally, I would still go PS4, but I think people will be happy with either console, from what I have seen.
I think it just comes down to exactly what you said. People are going to buy what they're familiar with already.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it really depends on... I don't anticipate the market shifting all that much, but, people that have Xboxes are going to buy Xboxes, and people that have PlayStation are going to buy PlayStations. But if it shifted and a whole bunch more people bought PlayStations, then people are going to go where the community is, right?
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah,
So
that's true.
we'll see. It'll be interesting.
I got some sweet Borderlands shirts.
Nice.
Very good.
This one particular company was selling Borderlands t-shirts, and they had them based on like gun manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get Malawan shirts, Jacob shirts, Hyperion shirts. They
That's
didn't mention
awesome.
anything Borderlands, just the brand of the gun company. So I bought a Malawan shirt because they're my favorite.
Nah, Jacob's all the way.
No way.
No.
They hit hard. I like the elemental damage.
Fair enough.
The only thing I did not buy that I kind of wanted was a Hello Kitty M Bison doll.
Oh, I've seen those before.
Yes.
They're expensive, though, aren't they?
$20 to $30 depending on the size.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. That would be cool. You should have got one.
That's okay. I spent so much money on other things.
We haven't talked about your Magneto costume
Yeah,
yet either.
hello.
Oh, so
Your cosplay.
a few weeks ago, Steph sent me this link to a Magneto costume hoodie, and it looks like the Magneto outfit with a hoodie with the hood that folds, that looks like the Magneto helmet. And I thought, oh man, this is the coolest thing ever. I need this. And then at Fan Expo, they had costume hoodies for almost every major superhero. So there was multiple versions of Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Doctor Doom one with the gold chain in the middle.
Cool.
Deadpool, Wonder Woman, Batman, Spider-Man, you name it. And I was debating between Magneto and the Black Wolverine. And the reason I want the Black Wolverine is because that's the color scheme I play Wolverine as in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Intimidating.
So it would have a personal meaning to me. But I ultimately went with the Magneto because that one is instantly recognizable by pretty much everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went with that, and I am pretty happy with it. And maybe at some point I will get that Wolverine one later. I also want the Doctor Doom one too, because Doctor Doom is cool.
Understandable.
I have a feeling if I actually made it this year, I would be so broke it wouldn't even be funny right now.
The shopping was amazing this year. Some great deals, great art in the indie side, and yeah, pretty much everything nerdy was all there in one place. More stuff than ever because they've got both halls, and it was wonderful.
Nice.
Very good.
Oh, you saw the Batmobile as well.
Yes, I posed with the 1989 Batmobile that Aaron hates a lot, but that is my favorite one of all time.
That's the Keaton Batmobile, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
classic.
Nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
And I also got a picture inside of Kit.
Nice.
Yes, David Hasselhoff was there too, and I got to sit in on his panel, and he is very, very full of himself, but it's hilarious.
It's almost like he's putting it on, but it's real.
Yeah, he's totally not putting it on.
No.
He's just crazy like that all the time.
I kind of wish he'd talk in
Like if you didn't know him.
Oh, he did a lot
good.
in his panel.
Does he refer to himself as the Hoff?
All the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's absolutely like gigantic over in Japan and Asia and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. And
He's
there's festivals dedicated in his honor. Like, yeah.
That could be a show topic. The Hoff show.
Everything Hoff.
I don't know, what video games has David Hasselhoff been in?
Oh, Lord.
Is there a Baywatch video?
I wonder.
The recurring Hoffcast.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Or creepy, I don't know.
He was in Burnout Crash. Or at least he was in the trailer for that.
So, Jett, if you had to pick a most disappointing game.
Most disappointing game.
Or maybe one that you were super hyped for, but then you saw and didn't really like.
I would reluctantly say Titanfall, only because the graphics did not look as sharp as I was expecting them to. But it could just be a nature of the video that they were showing.
True, that's fair.
And the other ones were kind of all what I expected. Assassin's Creed, Rise, not really interested. I was kind of hoping they'd show some more of the PlayStation 4 exclusives, so I kind of wanted to see Killzone and Infamous, even if I don't like those franchises all that much. They seem to have the most promise of the launch games. Well, at least Infamous is not coming out at launch, but Killzone is, and I hear they've changed that one up a lot.
Right on. Oh my god, guys, how did we miss this? We were talking about the Humble Bundle earlier, and in the Humble Bundle, you get Command & Conquer Red Alert 3.
Oh, Hasselhoff's in that.
And David Hasselhoff voiced the Vice President.
That's funny. All right, show over. Done.
Yep. He actually, when he left the stage, he signs off by saying, "Hoff off."
Oh my god.
No, he doesn't. Oh, man. That's so bad.
Yet I kind of want to see it.
You know what? Only he could get away with it.
I think we're good here, unless you guys have any other questions. We kind of talked about the future of games for the next year, and we can do this next year and say whether or not I'm right, or if these games ended up bombing, or maybe, I don't know, Destiny's the worst thing ever. You heard it here first.
Calling it.
Jett verified.
Calling it. Yeah, so let's wrap it up. We should... Yeah, it's a good time to close it because we've got another show coming for everyone else.
Woo.
Yeah, so you guys are going to get to listen to episode one of the currently unnamed podcast in just a bit. But in the meantime, let's plug some stuff. Jason, what are you up to nowadays?
Yeah, so like with all the work going on, it's been kind of a slow time for blogs stuff, but I was able to get away and get 2 articles that are already written. So I did another Worth Playing article, which has, I think it's just 10 or 11 brawlers, like side-scrolling beat-em-ups that maybe you don't know about that are really good. So you can check that out over on Slick Gaming. And last week, I also did a top 10 games that need HD remakes, inspired by DuckTales. So that was pretty cool. Killer Instinct is on there, Cool Spot's on there, Maximum Carnage is on there. So those are all pretty fun, but you can check those out right now.
Awesome. How about you, Matt?
I'm completely boring. I don't have anything coming up right now.
All right, stay tuned for Matt in the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I'll have something interesting next time, but nothing in the works right now.
Sweet. That's all right. Everyone deserves a break every now and then.
It's nice.
Yeah.
As for me, Kickstart Guide to Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is now live. I am now working on a Kickstart guide for Dive Kick. And on my own blog, inthirdperson.com, I am writing a whole bunch about my experience at Fan Expo, not just the game stuff, but some of the panels I went to and just experiences in general. So if you wanted to know on a scale of 1 to 10 how leathery Hulk Hogan's skin is, go to inthirdperson.com.
Spoilers, it's 11. Hey, are you going to call your Kickstart Dive Kick? Oh man, I can't even say it. You should call it the Dive Kickstart Guide.
Yes.
I like it.
And on Splitkick, we've got reviews for Time and Eternity by Jeff, who also did a Nerd Culture Rising on subscription MMOs, Race the Sun review by Wallace, and a review for Papers, Please by Aaron. Have you guys played that one?
I've heard of that one before.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
I love the premise of it, but I have not played it, where you're the immigration officer and controlling who gets in the country. That seems like really neat.
It's an interesting concept, that's for sure.
If nothing else.
All right. You can email us at bosscast@splitkick.com like JJ and let us know what you think about our talk about the future of games that I saw at Fan Expo, and tell me that I'm horribly wrong, that that Killer Instinct is going to suck, because I know a lot of people are going to say that still. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and on Twitter. You can find us at Matty Lang, at Jay Jasicki, at Jett Landicho, and at SplitKick.com. So, until next time, enjoy this episode of the currently unnamed podcast.
Hoff off.
Hey everyone, you are listening to a currently unnamed podcast.
That should just be the name. Currently
Unnamed podcast.
It's the cup. Currently unnamed podcast.
That's it. CUP.
The CUP. Oh man, and we are off to a rip-roaring start. I'm Jett, staff writer at SplitKick.com and in third person, and with me is Matt from Bitbam Pop.
Hello.
And also with me is Jason from Machinima. Failed. Machinima, it's Inside Gaming Daily, right?
That's right.
That's it. And your own site, which is...
It's currently slickgaming.wordpress.com.
slickgaming.wordpress.com. Yeah, so if you are listening to this podcast now and you are one of the 3 or 4 people that actually found it, so here's what's going on. Jason, Matt, and I are planning on starting up our own podcast, but before we feel we're ready for the big time, we wanted to record one or a couple of prototype episodes to just kind of get a feel for recording a podcast and a feel for each other, and not in that way.
No who.
No, not like that at all.
No homo.
Well said. Just to get a feel for the show before we go big time. So you are either blessed or not so blessed to be listening to our work in progress podcast.
We'll start with blessed. We'll start with blessed and we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Right.
The No Homo was a Lonely Island reference. You guys ever listen to Lonely Island?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. The guys from Saturday Night Live. Well, one of them from Saturday Night Live. Completely off topic.
Whatever. Getting us back on topic, how was your long weekend, gentlemen?
Pretty good. Went to the X.
Okay, so for our non-Canadian listeners, what are you referring to by the X?
Yes,
that would be the
enlightened.
for our Jason.
Yes.
The Canadian National Exhibition. It's like a once-a-year fair / carnival / entertainment thing, I guess. Showcase, expo, carnival rides and games in a midway and all kinds of different shows and competitions and stuff. It's been a staple, I think, in Toronto for as long as I can remember. It's an interesting thing to do. It's different than going to Wonderland or anything like that. It's kind of more low-key, but fun. Pretty cool.
So when were you there? Because I was there as well this weekend.
I went on the last day, which is probably not recommended for anybody.
I heard there was like 1.4 million people there on the last day.
Yeah, I think they were all in line for beaver tails. There was a ton of people. There's usually a ton of people there, but the last day is pretty crazy because all the booths and the stalls and whatnot, they all sort of mark the prices down and try to get rid of their stock so they don't have to take it all back with them. So every place has got a huge line to buy the latest thing, scooters or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was there on Friday with my girlfriend, and she's a huge fan of amusement park rides. Unfortunately, I am the biggest amusement park ride wuss. We have never been to we've been dating for like 4.5 years, and we've never been to an amusement park together because I keep telling her, like, I'm scared of these rides, I'm very uncomfortable with these, I get sick really easily, and this
So, of course, she makes you go.
Well, I volunteered to go, and I did promise I would make an honest effort to go on the rides. So
cool. Did you actually make an honest effort?
I did.
Okay,
so
good.
I got to the Tilt-A-Whirl. I don't know if that's the common name for this ride, but it like kind of goes up and down, and you're sitting on the seat, and it kind of turns back and forth every now and then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Horrifying. I know it is like the wussiest ride there, but I was clenching onto that bar and clenching my teeth and like screaming for dear life. And during the parts where it was spinning, I was like clenching really hard, and my girlfriend was laughing. And at one point I yelled at her like, "Stop laughing at me!" And she was like, "I'm not laughing at you. This is the part that's the most fun." And at that point realized like we are two completely different people, because I thought it was torture. And the moment I got off, like I needed to go sit down at like a picnic table off to the side and
go and kiss the ground.
Kiss the ground, yeah. We ended up only going on like one other ride the entire night, just the Ferris wheel. And it was kind of a bummer because from work she got like these special passes where we got free rides on everything all day, and after the first ride I was done.
Oh, hey, at least you gave it an effort, right?
I tried. I hope she appreciates at least that much.
I'm sure she did. Now you have a great memory on the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Do you remember it, or did you block out?
He prefers not to remember.
Yeah. I don't think I would even go on a ride at the X. Anything that can be put together in about 2 days doesn't really... like, I'm good with Wonderland. I mean, I watch them make roller coasters over the winter and, the fall and whatnot. And I know they take a long time to make, so clearly some quality testing has gone into it. But if you put up a roller coaster in 2 days and get on it, I would be pretty terrified to do that.
Understandable.
Yeah. One time I was at you guys know what Cedar Point is in Ohio?
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a roller coaster there, the Top Thrill Dragster.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I liked it, and then I walked by and we were going to go on, and
what happened?
Well, it's not even. There was a guy underneath. The lineup was all in there, but there was a sign saying you couldn't line up because the ride was under maintenance.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, under maintenance, that's kind of weird. And then I looked, and there was a guy standing under one of the parts of the roller coaster with a screwdriver tightening something. And I'm going, okay, if this can be tightened by a screwdriver, I'm not getting on it.
Yeah. Sorry, quick aside, like, a few of my friends actually work at Cedar Point, and the Top Thrill Dragster is it's the machine that breaks down the most. So, really? Jett, have you been there before or no?
No, I have not.
Okay, so the Top Thrill Dragster is like, I don't know if it's the fastest roller coaster, but basically what it is you get on and it shoots you off like the starting point super fast, and then you literally go 90 degrees up. Oh. And you like turn this huge like arc, and then you come back down. So it's, if you imagine kind of like someone took like an oval for like a track of a regular roller coaster and then just tilted the side 90 degrees up, literally 90. And like that's the idea. So when you get to the top of this arc, you're sideways completely, and you're going super fast. So that's like the big thing for it. But what I think is the funniest part is that it's perfectly normal and all right if like the cart doesn't make it over that hump and like goes back down backwards.
Whoa!
Like sometimes it doesn't make it, and like.
Okay, no, now I'm never ever going on it.
No. It's.
I wasn't going on it. No, I'm definitely never ever.
Yeah, like sometimes, usually it makes it over, but I think basically what happens is if there's too much weight, on the car, like if people are heavier, then it's not going to make it and it rolls back, which is fine. There's only one cart to go on, so you're not going to hit anybody. But what happened when I was there, like we walked past it, because it's a big amusement park, and we walked past it and it was under maintenance because the cart got stuck at the very top.
No, see, that's it.
Yeah, so, like, there's these people up there that are, like, hanging sideways for a little while, and, like, my friends and I are thinking, how are they going to get down? Like, no one's going to get up there and just push it. But they actually have, like, mini, like, boosters that, like, shoot it down one way or the other, and, like, oh, man, it was so frightening. No. We still went on it because, we had to, but I don't know. If you want to know a freaky coaster, that's one that you probably shouldn't go on.
No, and I can't, I mean, I would do it if I was guaranteed it was going to work all the way, but there's no way I get stuck on this thing. Jett, this thing, I think it's over 400 feet in the air.
Yeah,
right?
It's huge. Yeah.
It's I don't know what it is. It's over 400, I know that. And it's wicked fast, too. But,
it's fun. It was fun.
Top, not on my list of fun things.
Yeah. It's just like being on a Ferris wheel. You're just like sideways. And you might not get down.
Yeah, well, I mean,
give or take, it's like the same thing. Yeah.
So, Jason, you probably did not go to the CNE because you are in another country.
Yes.
So what did you end up doing?
I worked every day this past week. Today was my only day off. And it was Labor Day, so we were crazy busy at our mall. I work at an outlet mall.
Okay.
So people think that just means crazy good prices, which in many ways it does, but it's really just a mall. But our store, I don't know if I should say where I work. Yeah, I work at Under Armour. It doesn't matter, I guess. But we were pulling in lots of money like every hour, and it was super busy. And when it gets super busy, people tend to like complain a lot, and that's not too fun because this one customer came up, and the line was like to the door for like hours, and we have 3 registers, and we're ringing everyone as fast as we can.
Mm-hmm.
This girl, one of the girls that works next to me, is ringing, and this lady comes up and she's like, "Are you just going to let them cut everyone in line?" And when someone says that, everyone's ears are just like, attuned, and you're thinking, oh my god. And so this woman was making this big deal because these kids came up, and I guess the other girl didn't see that they were not in line, because you kind of like type in your register, you don't really look, and someone's just there to ring again. So she was giving this big deal and kind of berating my other employee, and she ended up crying and like going to the back of the store, and I was like, oh my god, like, what does this woman think? And it just makes me think that people, when they shop, like, they don't think about what they're saying, and they're just being dumb, and that's not fun. So if you're listening, lady that did that, you need to stop doing that. But and it was a hot weekend, so, and it's an outdoor mall, and like, it was probably like 90 on that Saturday, and everyone's like super hot and sweaty, and all the employees are sweating, and it wasn't that fun time, but it's over now, and I got paid, so that's good. We can move on. I wish I was at an amusement park riding a scary tilt-a-whirl.
Getting stuck at the top of the talk for actually.
I would have gladly traded working at the mall for the tilt-a-whirl.
And I would have traded you, just like that. But it was fun, Those are the days that make you go by fast, I guess. And they give you good stories later.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So, let's talk about some game stuff. Matt, what are you playing?
What am I playing? I started playing Guild Wars 2. Pretty awesome. I played Guild Wars 1, not a whole lot. I played it for a bit and didn't really get that into it. But I read a lot about Guild Wars 2 when it was coming out, and when they were developing it, rather. And it really intrigued me. I was a big WoW player for quite a while, and I got really tired of it. I ended up stopping. I haven't played it in quite a while. But when I heard about some of the stuff that Guild Wars 2 was doing, it almost seemed like all of the stuff that people didn't like about WoW, they took to heart and created, a system that sort of was the opposite of that. So it's been pretty good so far. A lot of the stuff, like I said, is different from WoW, so it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
What class are you running as?
I'm a ranger right now.
Ooh.
Human ranger.
Nice. You're Aragorn.
Yeah, basically. Except he didn't have a wicked bear running around with him.
True.
It's different. I mean, like, in WoW, you spend a lot of time doing really mundane things that don't really... I mean, a lot of farming for... I don't know if any of you guys played WoW at all.
I played for years, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you know how, like, you're running around trying to farm, ore, or, materials and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, you sit there and then 3, 4, 5 hours later, you're going, oh, I'm still doing this. I can't do this, you know what I mean? Guild Wars 2 basically gives you experience for everything that you do. You get experience for mining, you get experience for cutting down trees, you get experience for pretty much everything. And it takes sort of the really kind of grinding out of the game. Like, there's no... In WoW, where you go up to a guy and you get a quest, and he goes, oh, collect, 10 of these, and then come back, and then he gives you experience, and he gives you rewards. Well, in Guild Wars, you go around, and there's kind of zones, and you don't have to trigger quests at all. They just kind of trigger for you. So you'll walk into a zone, and you'll kill something, and it'll say, oh, this thing that you killed goes towards this quest. So if you kill this many more, then you can go see this guy and get a reward.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and it's more about exploration and trying to find different places, and there's parts in there that are like Assassin's Creed, where you have to climb to the highest part of a building and then you get a viewpoint.
Cool.
There's viewpoints in Guild Wars as well, where you climb and jump and get to the top of something, and then you view it, and it shows you a big sort of vast expanse in front of you, and then gives you experience for that. A lot of really cool things that sort of differ from a lot of the MMOs that I've played, so it's refreshing.
Still free, I assume, right?
Yeah. Well, buy to play. So you buy the game, but it's free to play. Yeah. There's microtransactions as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
You can, but I mean, as far as I know, there's no real sort of cap on what you can do for free. Everything is open to you. The only thing that you really need to pay for, like using microtransactions is cosmetic stuff. Like you can buy, street clothes or aviator sunglasses or hats or Yeah, it's stuff like that.
Awesome.
So it's weird because you're all, in the lore and whatnot. You're walking around in a robe with, your sword and weapons or whatever, and then you got a guy running by with you with a handlebar mustache and aviator with sunglasses on. And,
that's awesome. That's what I would do.
Yeah, basically.
Take away from the fantasy.
I'm not going to lie, I have a handlebar mustache.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, no, definitely refreshing. Refreshing for someone that's played WoW for quite a while.
So, Matt, I've never played an MMO. I've never had a computer that could run anything decent. Assuming that I did, would Guild Wars 2 be a good MMO to start on?
Jason, have you played Guild Wars?
I played Guild Wars. I've not played Guild Wars 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe you could chime in on this too.
Mm.
I think it's a good. I mean, the thing with WoW is when I started playing WoW, and I'm assuming Jason did too when it first started.
Like 6 months after. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but with the first iteration of the game, not the expansion pack.
Right.
So, when we started back then, it was there was kind of sort of a lot to do, but the end game was kind of where it was at. Like, getting to the end game was more of just a grind, and then once you finally got there, then you could do all kind of cool stuff.
That's right.
So with WoW, recommending it for a new player, they kind of literally rush you through everything now. I think you can start at 80 or something now if you want, if you recommend a friend or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, right,
you can basically jump right through the whole game, which is essentially, to me, where the fun is, because I'm not really good at any of the PvP stuff or whatnot. But if you're playing it for story, they kind of rush you through it. So I think Guild Wars is pretty good, though. I'm only about 20 levels into Guild Wars, but the storyline in it's pretty good. Everything is based on choices you make when you create your character at the beginning, so you kind of select a backstory for yourself. So I would say if you're into the PvP stuff and more of, raiding a group and set times and really sort of strict guidelines and rules, WoW would be kind of a game for you, but more of a fun sort of start off. I think Guild Wars would probably be a good start.
Yeah, I think Guild Wars offers a lot more of a, fresh experience and feel towards the genre than WoW would, but I still think WoW is a better start, just because the opening areas in WoW really cater you towards learning your class and what you need to do, and then it really just opens up, so then you have the option to do whatever the heck you want to do. Whereas maybe I didn't play Guild Wars enough to get that far, but I thought that WoW did that very well and made you want to keep playing. And I don't know. I guess maybe Guild Wars it didn't have that same feel to me, but that could come from me really liking the lore of World of Warcraft and Warcraft in general, because I was a big fan of Warcraft and Warcraft 2. So when it came out, even just in WoW, going around and being like, oh my god, there's Malfurion. That was cool. And if you don't care about that much, then you're going to lose some of the appeal for WoW. And then after that, you can just do whatever you want.
Run around and read all the books.
Yeah, if you want to kill time. But I actually started with EverQuest.
Right on. I never played EverQuest.
Yeah, EverQuest, there's no messing around in EverQuest. When you start, you need to know what you're doing. So I started, I think when I got the game, I was maybe 12. Maybe 13. Really? I was young. And I remember we still had dial-up connection, so we had to dial up to get on to play. And it's WoW streamlined so much that it just seems like EverQuest is just this ancient technology that you look at it now and you're like, what were they thinking? And but it's still fun, and you can see the influences obviously with WoW. But yeah, if you want a game that is definitely not for beginners, that was EverQuest.
I mean, I'll agree with you about the WoW or the lore of WoW and whatnot. I mean, I've never really been so kind of involved and sort of just overwhelmed by a game when I started Warcraft. It's like you get so addicted to it, and
yeah.
I mean, I played for hours and hours. I mean, days on end, and you don't really feel like you're wasting time. Which I don't know if that's a sad thing or not.
No. Yeah. I mean, but I think that's the nature of any good MMO. You're like every time you invest in that character, you feel like you're investing quality time.
That's true. I mean, the hours and hours you put into it, you feel kind of connected, right?
Yeah, I still have vivid images in my mind. When you log into WoW, you can get your character, you select your character, and before you select them, they're in this pedestal, and you can view them, and they just kind of look back at you like, "Oh, are you gonna pick me?" And I can still imagine my blood elf just sitting there in his purple robes and I know he's there for me, waiting for me whenever I want him. He said, even though I haven't played for 3 years.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's how they get you, right? They keep it in suspension. You
Yeah,
just go back whenever you want. And you know that in the back of your mind all the time. You're like, I could go back if I wanted to.
Yeah, no more of this Diablo 2 stuff where they delete your characters. But, yeah, and I guess what I was getting at is I feel connected to that guy. That was J6, the Blood Elf mage. I know that, I have so much time invested in him, and I feel like he has this, characteristic, because he was, one of the main guys for my guild in terms of, casting, and, that was 3 years ago. But it's still kind of the memory I have with him, it grew because it did that for him. And no other game really does that, not even an RPG, so that's very, very unique with an MMO. And Jett, I think you should experience it at some point with something, even if it's Star Wars or whatever, and get that experience.
All right.
And I'll say quickly, too, about Guild Wars. When you start Guild Wars, it doesn't, like you said, WoW kind of holds your hand through the first little bit. Guild Wars kind of rewards open exploration. So when you start, you can pretty much run away and, kind of end up in places that you shouldn't be right away. So, when I started out, I was level 11 or 12, and I'm running around and I'm looking for these hearts to complete. And all of a sudden, I'm getting attacked by a level 25 thing, and I'm going, wait a minute, how did I get here? You know what I mean? And, so.
Cool. Anything else you playing?
I don't know, Jay?
Huh? Wait, me? What?
Yeah, I'm passing up to you.
I thought you said Jett. Yeah. I just finished, I only beat it once, but I was playing through, it's either Growlancer or Growlancer, Wayfarer of Time, for the PSP. So it's a tactical RPG, and I just finished writing the review for it. It's alright, and I think it was okay because it combined two things that should have melded together, but it just didn't. And it's best described as a turn-based real-time strategy game, which sounds oxymoronic, but it really does work. Because when you enter a battle, you give your units or your party members commands, and they execute them until their unit or target is dead. So in that sense, it's an RTS, but you still can command them by what to do, and they have a countdown timer before they do that action. So it in sense is an RPG, and that sounds cool. But the battles are just so plain and ordinary that there's really no reason to play it for the battles. And thank God the story is actually entertaining, because otherwise the game would be a complete flop. But it's I guess it just wasn't my cup of tea, and I don't know. I guess you can read the review in a day or two when it pops up, but I don't know. I'd say it's a pass in my book.
How many hours?
You guys play many RPGs or RTSs?
RTSs, no. Turn-based strategy games, I do every now and then. I'm currently playing, actually, it's not on the outline. I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles recently.
Oh, yeah.
And
cool.
That game is pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to get into that one. I've heard really good things.
And I'm also a huge fan of the Fire Emblem series and the Advance Wars series as well.
Yeah, so this game it's really nothing like those. Because it's gosh, I can't even think of a good way to describe it.
Final Fantasy Tactics?
No, see, because all those games really offer a grid that you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the basis of gameplay. Can I move to attack the enemy? Oh, no, I can't. I have to change my strategy. But in this game, you just go wherever you want, and when you get there, you can do that thing that you want to do. So it's like an action RPG, but it's still, you're confined to the battlefield of an RTS. And I don't know, the battles just could have been better, in my opinion. If they make, because you have an interesting magic system, but when you can kill everything by just attacking it with your sword or bow, it takes away from the battle. So you can auto command your units. You just say, kill everyone, and then they just go kill them. So it makes the game not really fun when it plays itself.
Yeah.
But anyways, the story's cool. There's these angels that come and destroy the land. So you're like, why are you doing these, angels? And so you have to stop them. And it's interesting enough. I don't want to give anything away because there's spoilers within the first 20 minutes of the game, so I don't know if you're ever going to play it. I don't want to give anything away, but it's cool.
And you said this is a PSP game, right?
It's a PSP game. Yeah, apparently it was released in Japan as a PS2 game in 2004.
Oh.
So it's super old, and it looks old. I mean, it's obviously a PS2 game, which is early gen PS2, around right when it came out. But yeah, Atlas just brought it over to the PSP with some new characters, I want to say, that aren't in the PS2 version is what I was reading. And the game, they advertise it as having 40 plus endings, which I guess could be true because there's many times where, and this is a good part of the game, there's many times where in the story you're asked a question and you get like 3 or 4 different responses, and they don't seem like throwaway responses because I tested it once where this guy asked me like, will you help me save my kid? And you can say, of course, no, or you can just not say anything. And when you say yes, the guy responds with like, oh great, like here's the key to get into the house, like, go help him or whatever. And if you say no, he'll say like, well, I'll wait for the next adventurer. And then like the door is locked and like you can't get in there. But if you go back to him, he'll say like, oh, I wish you would have helped me. Like you've already missed your chance. And then apparently, if I would have played the game multiple times, I would have tried it. But apparently each choice like that kind of affects slightly the difference in the ending. Because there's like a more morality system where if you offend your teammates, they'll like you or hate you more. And that determines like what happens in the end of the game. Kind of like Mass Effect, but maybe not as cool.
The ending of Mass Effect didn't really matter. None of your choices mattered.
Yeah.
Since it's a PSP title, did you get it on a UMD or did you download it?
I downloaded it. I actually just saw the UMD today at GameStop, so they made it. Yeah, it's there. It's cool. It's got a neat cover. Like art.
How many hours would you say it took you to get through it?
Like 35-ish.
Wow.
Not too many.
It's
not too many. Yeah, I mean, it's standard fare for an RPG, I suppose.
Anything else you got on your plate?
I don't remember what I wrote down. Oh, yeah. I finally got around to playing the Team Fortress 2 Man vs. Machine update, where they added co-op, essentially, like a horde mode. And, are you guys TF2 fans or no?
I've played it.
No.
Yeah.
Never played it.
You should. It's on Mac. You can get it for free. But it's fun, and I could see like spending more time with it because I've already played it like 3 or 4 times. That co-op update, and I really enjoyed my time because it's fun and it adds a new spin to the game. But in terms of quality gameplay, it's not the best out there. Like Gears of War 2 still has a better horde mode, and I'm sure other games have better horde modes, but the fact that this game is free and they updated it with all this new content is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you got to give Valve credit for doing that, and I definitely do. So I'd say it's worth a look.
All right. I have access to Team Fortress 2, but on the PS3.
Oh yeah, orange box.
Yeah, my girlfriend has the orange box, and
yeah. Very, very different game now.
Yeah, I don't think that's the platform of choice to play that particular game on, so I'll probably pass.
Yeah.
I've got it on PC, I just haven't really got around to putting any time into it.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, like the game came out and I didn't think anything about it until I saw one of their trailers, where they do like each meet the team and they do a cast member, and I saw them meet the sniper and I was like, I need to buy that game. And then I bought it, and Steam does this thing where it tracks your hours from like the day you play it to like right now, and I'm pretty positive I have like 300 for that game, so I played it quite a lot.
Right on.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
I'm going to get around to it eventually, I think. I've heard it's extremely addictive though, so
very much so. Give yourself like a weekend so you can get out all your cravings.
Maybe after I move.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, you're moving next week?
Yeah, the 15th. To become a downtowner.
Downtowner?
Oh.
And you are moving in alone, or?
No, with my girlfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How long has this been in the works for?
The move?
Yes.
We've been talking about it for about a year.
Okay.
We decided, we just kind of actually got up and went with it. It's only been in actual sort of motion for about maybe 2 months.
Wow.
But, yeah, so we went out, looked, and found a place, and it's kind of exciting.
Congrats.
I'm excited for you. It's awesome.
Thanks, man. Jett, you're moving too, right? Or you just moved?
I moved in March with my girlfriend. I'm recording in our bedroom right now, which is our new my new studio for recording these shows.
There you go.
Nice.
Jason, do you have any advice for Matt on his next adventure?
His next adventure in what?
Moving in with his girlfriend?
Oh. No, if anything, he should have advice for me because I haven't moved in yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have advice yet, but perhaps...
We're looking later, so...
All right. Maybe in a later podcast we can go over that. Revisit it.
The next currently untitled podcast would be about
the CUP.
Yeah, the CUP.
The next cup of awesome.
Oh, man.
I like it. What about you, Jett? What have you been playing?
I wrapped up Walking Dead episode 3. Are either of you guys playing those at all?
I am not. I'm not.
Matt?
I haven't played it personally, but my brother's been playing it. He likes it.
I've heard nothing but great things, though.
You guys owe it to yourselves to at least try the first episode.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's not that I'm not playing it for lack of wanting to play it. It's just I don't have time.
Okay.
What type of games are they?
So they're made by the guys at Telltale, makers of Sam and Max. I played one episode of Sam and Max and really did not like it. So I was generally like, I'm not really a fan of Telltale games, and it's The Walking Dead. I've never read any of the graphic novels, and I didn't watch the TV show. But the guys on Splitkick were super into this game, and they're doing spoiler podcasts for each episode, and I just decided, hey, I probably should check this out and just see what the buzz is all about. And it's pretty awesome. It plays a lot like Heavy Rain. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you guys.
Could be a good thing.
Could be a good thing.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just like very dramatic stories, and the stories in these games are excellent. They do so much in the way of drama and excitement, and each episode has taken me on an emotional roller coaster, and the third one in particular is extremely dramatic because you're 3 episodes deep, you're invested in all of these characters, and without spoiling anything, like, stuff goes down.
Yeah. Now, are all your choices cumulative in these as well?
Yes.
One choice you made in the first game will follow through to the third kind of thing?
Yes. Now, they take choices, I don't know if it's necessarily to the next level, but, like, you will be in a conversation, and you may choose an answer, and there'll be, like, a ticker at the top of the screen that says, Bob will remember this, or Bob will totally remember that you said this, or this person noticed that you were lying. So it kind of opens up a lot of different... Whoa. What was that?
I don't know.
I just heard, like, someone breathe really heavily into the mic, or... That kind of freaked me out. But anyway.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's a lot of little things that the game is recording, and then on top of that, there's like 4 or 5 major decisions in each game or each episode that dramatically impact what happens.
Cool.
And
do you know if this is it connected to the story of the book or the TV show?
From what I have heard, not really. I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, that the game takes place in a different state, but there is one character in the game that does appear in the graphic novel.
Okay. That's cool. I like that idea. Instead of like, just you know what's going to happen because you've seen it or you read it, takes away a lot of suspense.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the TV show as well, right? They really went away from the story in the books.
Yeah.
You guys watch the TV show at all?
Yes. I saw season 1. It's very good.
Yeah. My brother reads the comics, and I kind of tell him what's going on in the TV show, and then he just shakes his head and goes, no, that's not even close.
So yeah, at some point, guys, definitely check out Walking Dead. At least play the first episode. They're only $5 each, and I think there's a deal on PSN. Like, get the season's pass, and it's 5 episodes for the price of 4.
Wow.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
$20. You've sold me. I'm interested.
Yep, do it.
Telltale Games, are they the same ones that made the Back to the Future game?
Yes.
Did Telltale... Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay, go ahead.
No, so did Telltale... Are they the Lego guys? They do Lego Harry Potter? Is that Telltale? Is that Traveler's Tales?
That's Traveler's Tales.
Traveler's Tales. So too many tales. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I heard about the Back to the Future game. It's more of just kind of a hold your hand and walk you through the story kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what Walking Dead is like, or is there more of a interactive aspect to it?
I have not played the Back to the Future game, so I can't compare and contrast. But there's a lot of watching, but I feel like the interactivity is enough. And it does do some interesting things with the adventure game mechanics to make it more interesting. Like, there are action sequences and shooting sequences, and it all kind of works within the same interface. If you played Heavy Rain and understand, like, how context-sensitive everything is, it's kind of like that.
It's cool.
Cool.
So you are moving your character around and triggering specific actions, and everything looks pretty good.
Excellent.
Cool.
Other things I'm playing, Rock Band Blitz.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that is a pretty good game. I used to be a huge fan of the original Rock Band, and it actually inspired me to learn how to play real instruments. So awesome. I went from playing a fake drum set and then just hopped onto a real drum set and started playing from there, and it was really cool. And I was kind of concerned going into Rock Band Blitz that it would not give me the feeling of playing Rock Band because I'm not holding an instrument or holding sticks. But kind of the thing that surprised me was just how, it felt like I was rocking out to these songs like I used to, even though I'm just holding a regular controller.
Yeah, very fun.
So that part is really cool. Kind of the weird / scummy part of the game is the whole coin system.
Yeah, that is very strange.
Matt, have you played Rock Band Blitz at all?
I haven't, no.
So, the coin system in the game, there are power-ups in the game which help you, get higher scores. The problem is that you need to spend these in-game coins in order to use these power-ups. And the way the math kind of works out is that you can't always use those power-ups every single time you play a song.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to grind through this Rock Band game in order to get enough coins in order to use the power-ups to get the high scores, which are the high scores are pretty much all the game is about.
Yes.
And you get coins by what?
Playing songs.
Oh.
So you will have to grind through songs to get more coins so that you can then go back to that song and try and get a high score.
Yeah, it's
wow.
It's like an RPG's attempt at a music game.
That doesn't really. No, I don't like that.
It's kind of scummy.
Scummy.
The way I got around it is I have a giant stack of DLC on my console, and you get double the coins for the first time you play any of the songs.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of playing for fun anyway, so that didn't bother me too much. But when I was trying to go for a high score and I'd blow 5,000 to 6,000 coins, and which was a quarter of my stash, just trying to get one high score, it made me cringe a little bit.
Yeah. And then, no, sorry, keep going.
Nope, I was done on that bit.
I'm almost on the complete opposite end of that, because I had no DLC on mine, because I got to play it for the Xbox, but I have Rock Band on the PS3. So I'm sitting there with no DLC, and it's I felt that the game, if you're someone like you, Jett, that has a crap load of music on your hard drive, then it is an instant must-buy, because there's really no reason not to. You're going to get so much entertainment out of that, but if you don't have any other DLC or songs, then $15, I think is how much it is. Yeah. It's really not going to be worth it. That's just how I felt about that. Because, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, because ultimately, Rock Band Blitz really feels like it's just a separate game mode to Rock Band. It's not like a full-fledged game, because you're playing all the same songs, and it's essentially the same idea. And it just seems like you loaded in Rock Band 2 or 3, and you're like, oh, I'm going to play Blitz today. And you just got this new game mode where you play with a controller.
Yeah.
Because they didn't offer anything too grand. But if you want that, and I think if you have the DLC, you should have that, then it's worthwhile.
Yeah. I agree.
Favorite song?
My favorite song on that, of the 25 that come with it, Moves Like Jagger.
Moves Like Jagger? Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that is one of my guilty pleasure songs of life. Love that song so much.
Jason, you?
I'm trying to think what I like. I'm a My Chemical Romance fan, but I'm not the biggest fan of their new stuff. But I think I liked We Are Young by Fun. F-U-N.
Okay.
That was fun. Oh, and then there was Fallout Boy, Little S16 Campus.
Yeah, that's fun too.
That's just fun to play. That was cool. So, those are
a good title.
Yeah.
Do you guys have, going a little bit off topic since we're talking about I was talking about guilty pleasure music. What guilty pleasure songs do you have, or you just love, even though people consider them horrible?
Gosh. I don't know. Take it away, Matt.
I don't know. I'm kind of a cheesy pop music fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard that new song that's out? Not even out, but kind of a YouTube phenomenon by that guy called Psy, Gangnam Style.
Oh, Gangnam Style? Yeah.
I have seen the links pop up. I have not listened to it yet.
Yeah.
You need to listen to the song.
Maybe
it's catchy.
It's pretty catchy. And but not even listen to the song, but you need to watch the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
The video will do it for you. It's unreal.
Maybe we'll end the show with it or something.
Get a sticky note, write it down. So as soon as you're done, you need to go watch that video.
Okay, will do.
I can't think of like any of my guilty pleasure music. Like, I guess I really just listen to like top 40, but I'll always be a fan of Weird Al Yankovic and his parody songs.
Yes.
So I guess he's one of my guilty pleasures.
Okay.
I can always kick back.
He's not even guilty
Amish
for me.
Paradise. yeah, he's not. Like, I'll sing the whole song. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I have all of his CDs, so he's not guilty for me anymore. I think after about the 9th CD, he became less of a guilty pleasure and more of a all-out straight, I will tell you to your face, he is awesome.
Yeah, he was. Weird Al was my very first CD I ever owned. I got a Weird Al CD, so it's always going to be a special place in my musical heart.
Is it the Off the Deep End one?
No, it was actually I got it for my birthday. I got the CD player for my birthday, and it was the special food album. That was all just a compilation of all of his like food parodies.
Good stuff.
Yeah, epic.
I don't remember my very first album. I remember my very first rap album.
Oh yeah,
it was Will Smith.
Big Willie style?
No, before then. It was the one with Summertime on it.
Oh, with
Ring My Bell and Summertime.
Yeah. Dang, you're throwing it back.
Wow. Wow. Was that Parents Don't Understand? That was the same album?
No, that was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even think I know much from that album.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember those two songs, and that's about it. I remember listening to the crap out of it because it was the only album I had.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong at all. I guess one other thing I was playing, moving things along, I played the Wii U.
Oh.
Jealous.
Yeah, seriously, me too.
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
At Fan Expo last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, they had Wii U's there. They had all sorts of stuff, and Ubisoft brought over Zombie U, and Warner Brothers had Scribblenauts Unlimited and Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. One thing that kind of weirded me out, not that many people were interested. The lines for Halo were like wrapped all the way around. Lines for PlayStation All-Stars were huge. There was a decent line for God of War Ascension the entire time. There would be like 5 to 6 people in line for Zombie U at any given point, and then Scribblenauts and Batman were virtually empty. Everyone was just playing like Injustice Gods Among Us beside, and no one gave a crap about the Wii U.
Well, do you think this is something like the fan base that was there, just it didn't cater to them? Like they weren't game players, or what?
I don't know. I think there were definitely game players there, playing stuff like Halo, and Assassin's Creed 3 had huge lines. I just wouldn't be surprised if there isn't that much buzz around the Wii U right now.
Yeah, I guess the reason I think about it is, like, I think as someone, like, I would assume all three of us would, like, appreciate all sorts of games. Like, I would want to go there just to experience it and be like, you know, what is this all about? And, like, I want to play Scribblenauts and just see kind of what it's like. So I'm surprised that, you know, I didn't get that appeal. Whereas I could see Halo, that's pretty mainstream popular. People would just go and play it, but yeah, that's surprising.
Or maybe even the opposite of, you know, the Wii U or even the Wii is sort of marketed towards sort of non-hardcore gamers, right? So
True. Casuals.
if you've got a place full of, you know, gamers or hardcore gamers, maybe, you know, the Wii U isn't the first thing they want to run to. So
yeah,
you're probably right.
So yeah,
that and the fact that the controller, I find the whole thing is just kind of weird. I mean, Jett, you can probably speak to this a little more than I can.
What is it about the controller that you find weird?
I find it kind of redundant, like a little unnecessary. I mean, you've got one screen with, you know, your TV or whatnot that you're playing on, and then you've got this second screen that seems almost kind of, to me, it seems almost kind of like a rear touchpad on the Vita. You know, it's sort of, you've got all these ports that are put onto the system, and then you've got these controls that are native to these systems that are sort of being forced on you, you know, where they sort of integrate the rear touchpad on the Vita, you know, in places where it might not necessarily work, or they use the Wii U second screen sort of for, you know, things that don't really need to be on a second screen.
So I will say that, like, no offense to Warner Brothers, but Scribblenauts Unlimited and Batman Arkham City are not going to push the Wii U in terms of creativity with that particular controller. Scribblenauts had pretty much on that bottom screen the whatever was happening on the big screen happening on the small screen at the same time, And whenever you click the button to bring up the keyboard, then the keyboard would show up on the little screen and you would type in from there.
See,
and then after you brought up an item, then you could use the touchscreen to drag it to a particular person.
I guess that's cool.
It may...
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah. Is it with a whole new system?
Yeah. Not to mention that you have to hold this other screen the whole time you're playing. It's a gigantic, awkward controller.
Well, I will say that I thought it would be awkward to hold, and it is surprisingly not. So it's about the width of an iPad, and it's contoured for your hand, so it actually felt pretty good. And it was pretty light, so I can see myself playing on this thing for a couple of hours without stressing about it at all.
It's good. Very good.
But to Matt's...
Which games did you play?
Yeah, Scribblenauts and Batman.
Okay, so let's just ask about Batman, because obviously we've had iterations of this before.
Yes.
What does the Wii U bring to Batman that we haven't seen?
Possibly slightly worse graphics. My brother and I were looking at it on the Saturday, and my brother was like, "This doesn't look so great." And it's been a long time since I played Batman on the 360, so I can't say one way or another. But I kind of get the sense that it looks kind of worse, but I could be wrong.
What about the controller? I mean, what do you do with the controller?
So the demo they had there was custom made for this particular demo. It was a section that never existed, so it was like, walk through this area and there's a bunch of dudes. You beat them up, and then you go crawling through the ceiling and then do a whole bunch of other stuff. Control-wise, you have your inventory screen on the bottom. You also had a mini-map there.
This is on the handheld controller?
On the handheld controller.
Okay.
So the mini-map, I know there are a lot of people that do not like having mini-maps on the screen because they break immersion. I like the mini-map for the convenience. Especially
I take it for convenience.
if there is a complex world that needs to be navigated, I would rather have it on the screen in that situation so that I can see, all right, I go to the left, then I go to the right, and then I go straight this way. Having the map on the screen, like, I would be in situations where I'd be playing, then I don't know where I'm going, and then I have to look down, and then keep looking back and forth. And I think that is kind of my big concern right now with the Wii U, of just, like, having to switch between looking at this TV, then looking at the screen down here, hitting this button, then hitting the touchscreen, now looking back at the TV, while then tilting the controller, because it has motion control in it. And, yeah, I think it...
Well, it's funny that you say that having the mini-map on the screen, some people think that it takes away from immersion, but, in retrospect, having it on the controller, does that not make it even worse? Because then you literally have to look away from the screen to see the mini-map, and then look back at the screen.
Or can you do something where, like, you hold up the gamepad?
So it's kind of like a DS.
Eye level. Yeah.
I think that would get tiring.
And then the back. Get a camera on the back, and it shows you the screen through the screen on the handheld. And
yeah, the most awkward sequence in Batman was there was a fenced-off area, and there was a tiny hole in the fence, and then there was a button on the other side of the room. And so you had to throw a batarang to hit that. And so it was... hit the button to trigger the inventory on the touchscreen. So hit the button, look at the touchscreen, touch on the item on the touchscreen, then look back up at the screen, hold the left trigger to like pull the reticle up, aim with the right stick, hit the right trigger, and then now you've thrown the batarang. Now you have to look back at the screen and then tilt the controller in order to steer the batarang into the button.
Dang.
yeah, it's easy. It's the way I'd want to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's how Batman does it.
Basically. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Kind of off the wall. Did they have the Pro Controller there to play or
no?
No?
No.
I mean, I have to imagine that that's the way that I would play Batman on the Wii U. If I play Batman on the Wii U.
Yeah. Like, everything else about the controller, I think it was disorienting for me, but I think it's something that people can get over. Like, the location of the right stick versus the buttons and having the right stick above the buttons, that was throwing me off like crazy. But I don't think that's something that couldn't be overcome with some practice.
Right.
And I think it's just going to be a matter of developers and creators finding cool ways of using this tech, and I'm not sure what that could possibly be.
Yeah, I don't think it's Batman. Like,
it's definitely not Batman.
Definitely not Batman.
Maybe
I'm sure at some point someone will make the game that, takes full advantage of it, and that's what I want to see. Like, when I see that game, I'll be more sold on the Wii U.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They should make those games first and then release the system.
In a perfect world, that's how it would go.
Never.
Now, can you play with just the Pro Controller? Like, do you need that screen controller? Is the inventory system built into the game? If you take the screen controller out and use just the Pro Controller, can you then pull up the inventory system on the actual TV?
I do not know, but I would imagine that would be the case.
Yeah, I would think it would have to be, just because there's lots of times, and I know it's not the same, but with the Wii, where there's like those multiple control schemes where you can even use the GameCube controller.
Yeah,
and they incorporate it. It's got to be in there. If it's not, then that's dumb on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or whoever, I guess, makes it.
Do you guys have any other questions about the Wii U or the controller or anything else about that particular system?
How much is it going to cost?
I saw some rumors on NeoGAF about pricing, but I don't know if that's reputable or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, because I'm really on the fence on whether or not I want it, because I'll be the first to admit I'm a big Nintendo fanboy.
As am I.
I love Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I'm just not completely sold on the Wii U, and I think if I see a price that will push me over the edge.
What is the
one way or the other?
What is the price that you are looking for?
I am looking for I personally would like no more than $200, but I know it's going to be more than $200, so I guess my ideal price would be $250. I think that's a smart idea for Nintendo, but I don't know if that's possible. So,
do you think they're taking a loss at $250?
I don't know. That's the thing. How much does it cost for that gamepad? Because I would assume that the Wii U would ship with one gamepad, maybe one Wiimote, two, maybe not, probably not. And I just don't want Nintendo. I mean, they've gone on record saying that they thought the 3DS was a pricing problem. They priced it wrong. They're not going to do it again, quote unquote, with the Wii U. So that's why I think maybe $250 or even $300 would be where they're going to go. But I mean, $300, that's a lot. I don't want to pay $300 for a system that right now I have no games for I want to play.
Mm.
So I think if Nintendo can price it lower or give me something else that would make me want it, then I would be way more likely to buy it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it had Mario at launch.
Mario at launch is actually pretty key. If it had Mario at launch, I'd be very much into it. And the Wii U, New Super Mario Bros. U,
mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. That looks cool. I really want to play that, because Mario games are always pretty, pinnacle for the genre and the system. And that looks fun, but it's not going to be there. So, I'm not going to buy it if it's not there.
That's true.
I'm excited.
I'm happy. Yeah.
I'm excited for Rayman Legends.
That's what I was going to say. I'm happy that the Rayman game looks awesome.
Yeah, I finished up Rayman Origins a couple of weeks ago, and that game is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Kind of hard, but once you get past that...
Yeah. Looks very pretty, too. That's awesome.
Rayman's pretty much good wherever you find it.
I'm trying to think what else I'm really looking forward to with the Wii U. Oh, did you hear that rumor that... well, it's not a rumor that they're making two Smash Brothers games, one for the 3DS, one for the Wii U. But I heard a rumor that they might be different versions of the same game, whereas the Wii U version would be a completely new setup, same idea but new characters and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 3DS version would be a throwback to it would have all old characters and whatnot and old levels and stuff.
Oh, that's
not bad.
That's not a bad idea.
No.
I would do that. And I'm just curious, because then the other thought is that the kind of like the PS Vita with the PS3, and they can do crossplay.
Yeah,
that you'd be able to do that with the 3DS and the Wii U version of Smash. But again, they're both just rumors. But they're both cool rumors.
Yeah, it's true. Well, plus we're getting Super Smash Bros. Oh no, sorry, that's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah,
that's your Smash Brothers fix.
Yeah, I played that at Fan Expo as well, and yeah, it's totally Smash Bros.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I mean, if you like Smash Brothers and want more of Smash Brothers, or you refuse to own a Nintendo system and this is the only way you can get that style of game, then yeah, it's fantastic.
And you enjoy all kinds of PlayStation characters. This is pretty much... Well, except no, they're missing a key PlayStation character, aren't they?
Yep, no Crash.
Yeah, no Crash.
No Crash. Pissing me off.
You think that would be the first guy they would have went after?
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty positive it was the PlayStation's first like legitimate mascot.
Pretty much.
Wasn't it?
Memories.
One of them, if it like the first actual video game character mascot. Come on, Sony.
I actually played some Crash Team Racing over the weekend.
Nice.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. Actually, this game kind of has a little bit of significance. Well, not a little bit of significance, but on my girlfriend and I's first date, we played Crash Team Racing. I had never played Crash Team Racing at that point. I was a diehard Mario Kart guy, still am. And yeah, she was like, I heard you like video games, so let's try this one. And that was like her PlayStation 1 set up in her dorm. And I was like, all right, let's play this. And she annihilated me in that game.
Yeah.
And
that's a fun game, though. That's actually a really fun game.
it is pretty fun. I as a Mario Kart kind of fanboy, and for the longest time, I just kind of refused to believe that there was anything else close to that series. But Crash Team Racing, admittedly, is pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably the closest
it.
you're going to get to quality Mario Kart clones.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your favorite Mario Kart?
Oh, man. I actually, maybe going a bit off the board, I really like the DS version.
I was just going to say the same thing.
DS is fun.
And I like that one because that was the first one with online.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
That was
I
cool.
spent so much time playing that game online with random people, and it was a blast. I mean, most of them are a blast, but that one in particular, like besides the fact that it had online, it just had great courses and great weapons, and was really fun to play.
And you get to swerve left and right through the entire level.
Yeah.
Yep, Snake the entire time if you wanted to get maybe third place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never mastered that particular technique.
Oh god, it's horrible. I like them all. I think they get really good and whatnot, and I think the 3DS version's great. But I think the best one they did, and I know I'm off the wall for saying it, was probably Double Dash. And
Really?
I think because it had the best like party potential setup, like in terms of game. Because I don't really know if anyone that plays Mario Kart for tournament reasons or whatever to be like, you know, who's the best. But I think Double Dash was one of the most fun games they played games they made because every level was very memorable, and there's so much like randomness in it that it set up for a great party experience. Whereas Mario Kart Wii or whatever it was like kind of too crazy. Like Double Dash was the right amount of crazy, and I like that.
Matt,
That was GameCube, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
your favorite Mario Kart?
I'm going to go DS as well.
Okay.
I enjoyed the DS. You can't go wrong with Mario Kart on the go.
That's true.
No pun
Did
intended.
you guys play 7 for the 3DS?
No, I haven't.
No, I have not.
No,
I played the demo at Future Shop. Wait, you guys don't have Future Shop over there.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Future Shop is basically Best Buy, and they are owned by Best Buy here in Canada, but they're run as two separate companies. And the big difference is Future Shop staff, the salespeople get commission, and the Best Buy people do not.
Wow. Well, hopefully it's run better than Best Buy because I'm almost positive Best Buy is going to go out of business. Like no one goes to Best Buy anymore, so we'll see what happens there.
And
But
here's the thing
anyways, Mario Kart 7, it's good. Like if you have a 3DS, I'd recommend it.
The thing about the 3DS, I find, is that I end up just shutting the 3D off anyway
Oh yeah.
because it annoys me and it gives me a headache. So I might as well just play it on the DS.
That's true. Actually, I have an eye condition and I can't see 3D.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
So, I never have it on to begin with. But whenever I can flick it on and I see what they're going for, and it's like, oh, I see how that would work. But like the big problem with Mario Kart and really any game that you're going to play where you're not sitting down is that you're going to lose the 3D. Like you're going to move out of the range of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of dumb. So you might as well just turn it off.
So that mees you never got to experience the mastery of Avatar in its true form?
I have not. Can't see 3D. No, I have not. So I'm okay with that. I saw it anyways. It was good. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else.
No worries. Anything else you guys wanted to cover before we wrap this up? I see there's a couple of other topics on the outline.
Oh yeah, let me pull that back up.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Do you want to talk about any of these? Oh.
We could end with kind of what games you guys looking forward to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Sure. All right. So we are kind of hitting the busy season now as far as games. A couple of big releases coming up this month, and then it's just the onslaught of
Awesome
AAA titles from everyone's favorite creators, developers, and so on and so forth. What are you guys looking forward to?
I think the game that's coming out soonest that I'm looking forward to is definitely Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Good job.
I am going to go crazy for that game when it comes out.
We should all play together. I don't think I have either of you on my Xbox friends list, so we should set that up.
I'm going with Xbox over PS3. So
Yeah, me too.
Same here. All right, so cool.
Nice.
It's a date.
Nice.
I'm going to write my gamer tag in this outline.
yeah,
There it is.
There you go.
I know no one can see that, but
I see it.
No, we definitely can.
yep. Boom, I see.
Burning might as well.
One bad thing though with Borderlands 2, like it's going to be great, but it comes out the same day as the remake for Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
And I need to play that. Like that looks so fun, and so like I don't know what to do. Like it's going to sap my time, so I'll probably just play Baldur's Gate during the day and then Borderlands at night when everyone's online.
I put in an obscene amount of hours into the first Borderlands, and I came into that game like kind of like The Walking Dead, where I've heard a lot of great things about it, but nothing about it in general like appealed to me. So I was like, I'll try this on a whim, and then it destroyed my life.
yeah.
Wait,
Right.
Baldur's Gate you're talking about?
No, Borderlands.
Borderlands. Yes. Destroyed your life in a good way. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't follow. I was
One of the weird things though about that game, at level 36, I found this super magical gun, and it was like an Uzi type gun, and I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember the manufacturer, but it shot like flaming bullets. And for whatever reason, this gun was crazy overpowered, and I ended up using this gun up until like level 61, and it was still amazing, even though it was like a regular gun that was way lower in terms of like the rarity and stuff. But once I got that gun, I didn't switch. I would just keep collecting them and kind of collect for value, but then I never switched out my gun.
Well, I think that's one of the best parts about that game, because I have a similar story where I found this like it was still rare, so it was purple, but it was a pistol, and it only had like one round per chamber, but the zoom was like 6, and the headshot crit was like plus 350% or something. So, and I was a sniper, so like I'm so steady, and then like as a sniper, you can take this one skill tree where you have a random chance of firing off 2 bullets instead of 1, and with your pistol. And that would work even though that pistol had 1 bullet in the chamber. And oh my gosh, like you could headshot crit bosses like to death. And I used that to the very end of the game. That was my pistol. And I was actively searching for like a better one, but nothing ever compared. Like honestly, that zoom was the best part, because if you can like pistol someone from way across the map, like oh man, I just dominated them.
So yes, Borderlands 2. Anything else? I'm really looking forward to Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh my god,
man.
Nicely done.
looks so good.
And did you guys play through Revelations?
I did, yeah.
You know, I've never played Revelation.
I haven't. I played it for like 3 hours and really did not like it, so I stopped.
Really?
And I loved Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, but
yeah.
I got to Revelations and was like, oh, this plays a lot like the last 2, and there's this really crappy tower defense game in it. Oh, and I ran into a game-breaking glitch. I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to... I think it was the first Altair experience where you have to, like, the bad guys have a whole bunch of people hostage, and you have to, get to them before they die. And I got to, like, the last guy, and for whatever reason, he glitched out in a way where he stopped moving, but then I could not kill him.
That sucks.
And I was just like, oh, it took me half an hour to get here. Forget this, and I'm done. So I don't know what happens at the end. From what I've heard, it's very inconsequential to the overall lore, so I'm planning on just going straight into 3.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I remember vividly the other 2, or the other 3, but I can't remember that one, so I don't think it was that good.
What's the name of the, like, human dude?
Desmond?
Desmond, yeah. Is he in 3? Do we know?
He should be.
Yeah? Is he still in the Animus or whatever, or what's going on?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is. I think, wasn't Revelations the end of that chain?
Yeah.
This is a different guy now.
I remember hearing that.
Because this isn't even set in the same time period. This is American Revolution.
I don't know. and I'm too lazy to fact check right now, so we're just going to assume so.
Yeah.
We'll make up our own Assassin's Creed lore.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's true. It's actually set in the future where the world reverts back to an earlier time.
Yeah, it's a guy named Bob.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's his name, Bob.
Bob the Assassin.
Bob the Assassin.
It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah,
Works at a Denny's.
Yeah, definitely. An
Part-time,
18th century American Revolution Denny's.
Yeah, for me, those are kind of the two big games, and I'm good for the year as far as I know off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else.
I have to agree with you, Jett. I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed. I'm also looking forward to BioShock, but I know that's not going to be this year.
Yeah.
So it was going to be, so it still kind of falls in this list, but no, it's not going to be. So.
I feel like we're missing some big game that's coming out. I don't know. Well, I guess you could say the launch of the Wii U. That's supposed to be this year, maybe, sort of.
We'll find out at the big Nintendo press conference later in the very near future.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Dishonored is out this year as well.
I had a chance to play that at Fan Expo, and I totally passed on it.
Really?
What was it?
Dishonored?
Yeah, Dishonored.
I've heard good things, but I just have not followed that game at all, and I probably should have.
Then you guys are looking forward to Halo?
Nah.
No.
Not really Halo guys?
Not a Halo guy.
Halo's passed for me.
Resident Evil?
Oh yeah, RE6. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I played the demo of 5 and was like, nope, don't like this one, and I didn't play it at all.
Really?
I loved 4.
I think
4 is one of my all-time favorite
good.
games. But that demo to 5 just really turned me off. It could be great. I don't know. I stopped at that point.
I think 5 is fun, but only if you're really playing with somebody else. Like,
Yeah,
if you
that's
have a
what I've heard
partner
as
to
well.
play as Sheva or Chris or whomever, like, then it's a little bit better. What else is coming out?
I think that's it for AAA titles.
Yeah, I know fighting game-wise, there's a bunch of...
Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken Tag is like next week or whenever. Yeah. Should be out around the time you listen to this episode. Whoa!
It's
September 11th.
There you go. Dead or Alive 5. PlayStation All-Stars
look up
is a big one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, Mr. Pandaria.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. I'm kind of torn, right? I mean, every time there's a new expansion comes out, I generally flock back and go to the level cap and then never play again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do it this time.
You're a better man than I.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do it this time, though. We'll see. What else is it?
I don't know. I feel dumb for, like, not knowing.
There's some good games coming out early next year, but they don't really
We should
care.
save that for another episode. I'm actually trying to stealthily pull up a release calendar.
Oh, God of War.
Oh my god, totally forgot about Professor Layton.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Professor Layton. Awesome.
Oh, and the Miracle Mask. Like, Professor Layton is one of my all-time favorite games, like, ever. He is one of the coolest characters. Cannot wait for that.
Actually, pretty cool game.
Yes,
So,
I
or
love
a series
all
of games,
Professor
I should say.
Laytons.
All right, I'm sneakily looking at this release list. Any...
I've already got you beat. I've had it up for
Oh,
a
okay.
while.
Any sports video games, guys?
Yeah. NHL?
Nah.
Canadian thing.
Not a
That's going to
sports
be
guy.
like the biggest selling game up here.
Jason,
I mean,
you're not a Madden guy?
No.
No.
No. I think like football and Madden, I think it shows this dichotomy between types of gamers. And, like, really, if you're, liking Madden is fine, but if you're someone that really just plays Madden, like, I don't know. Just go away. Like, I don't really care about, like, just that. Like, oh, I just play Madden. Like, yeah, that's great, but there's so much more that you could experience, and I don't know. I guess I have nothing against that person or those people. I just kind of wish that they wouldn't call themselves gamers or whatever, because it's not really giving us a bad rap, but to me it's just like, you don't know what you're saying.
That's racist. Game racist.
Gamist.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking now. I guess Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is coming out. November. Apparently around the same day as Paper Mario Sticker Star, which looks awesome.
Is that sarcastic?
No, I love Paper Mario.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. If you hand me any RPG and you say like, hey, this also stars Mario, I'll buy it. So
Did you play Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo?
My favorite.
many, many, many times.
Yeah, I have the ROM for it. I love it.
Yeah, that's such a good game.
Yeah.
Very.
If anybody's
very fun.
listening and has not played that, it's called The Legend of the Seven Stars.
Please do it. It is available
Yeah,
on the Virtual Console.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Wii's got it.
Oh,
Yes.
do they? Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. I've never owned a Wii, so I haven't been privy to the Virtual Console list, but
You are missing out, Matt. All of those
Yeah,
great
you are.
Wii titles.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
carnival games and party games.
Oh,
too.
Game Party, dude.
yes.
Yeah, game party. That's what it is.
I enjoy games and partying, so, can't really go wrong.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can actually see.
Oh, Pokemon Black?
Is that this Black and White 2? Is that
too.
this year?
Yeah. That's
Yep,
this
October.
month?
Oh.
Next month?
All right.
I liked Black and White 1. Well, I guess I like Black. I didn't really play White, but I assume it's the same game.
And wrestling fans? WWE 13?
Haven't played since the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I mean,
Likewise.
there's been no point to play since then. I mean, they can't make them any better.
It's true. They stopped. They're like, you know what? It's not
Yeah.
going to get better. They just
Everybody just went into work one day, threw down their stuff, and just left. Said, you know what? This is it. We're done.
We've created a masterpiece.
That's it. Yeah. Threw down their paintbrushes and went home.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Cool.
Can't
Yeah.
think of anything
All
else.
right. So I think we should wrap things up. That was a great chat. Before we go, we should wrap things up. Tell people where they can find you and what are you working on. So we'll start with you, Jason.
Okay, you can find my reviews for Machinima at InsideGamingDaily.com. You can search for my name, Jason Jasin. But otherwise, just check their review blog and I'll be up on there. And you can also get my regular stuff at jsicktheslick.wordpress.com or slickgaming.wordpress.com. It should go to either one of them. And I'll be on there. Working on right now, I am actually working on a few different videos for older PS2 games, so they should be coming up soon this week.
All right.
Nice of it.
Matt, what do you got cooking?
I write for a website called Biff Bam Pop. That is going to kill the pop filter because all of them are B's and P's. No, if we call Biff Bam Pop, it's basically a pop culture website, comics, movies, music, TV, that kind of thing. I'm kind of a video game guy, so I do video game reviews and just kind of general gaming news. So, biffbampop.com.
Can you give us a sneak peek on what you're working on next?
Actually, next is going to be kind of a starter review of my time with Guild Wars.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys all got a sneak peek just now on the podcast.
yeah, a little bit of a sneak peek.
Yeah, you guys got a little bit of a sneak peek from my stuff as well. Right for Splitkick, and I'm working on a piece on my time with the Wii U gamepad. So I've been admittedly struggling with this piece. I think I was overthinking it, but I think I know what I want to do with it now. So it'll be similar to what we talked about here, plus some other stuff. You can also find me at inthirdperson.com, which is my own game blog. And coming up very soon is my write-up for Rock Band Blitz and Asura's Wrath. I don't know if you guys played that game at all.
Looks very cool. I have not played it though.
Okay. It is like God of War / Japanese anime, but way more Japanese anime than God of War. Because you do,
Wow.
you do
All right.
not do much in the way of hitting buttons or fighting dudes. The anime is really cool, and there's like the most insane QuickTime events you will ever experience in your life. That is a really hard game to recommend in general, but if you're kind of open-minded to different experiences and you can find that one in a bargain bin, I definitely say give it a shot.
Nice to do.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Or if you're playing God
Yes.
of War and you just go, man, I really wish this was way more Japanese.
Absolutely. Like one of my
Good to
favorite,
go.
More ridiculous hairstyles.
pardon the spoilers, there's a point in the game where this guy, you are fighting on the moon, and this guy gives you like this most
damn
epic
it.
super punch where he punches you
just
towards
spoiled
the
it.
earth, and then he pulls out his sword, and his sword extends so long that it skewers you and the earth at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, I love
Wow. You know, I'm
there it
looking
is.
for a game where I fight on the moon. Now I know where to find it.
Yeah. No more Final Fantasy IV.
All right,
That's
so that's it for this particular installment. We will definitely do this again. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Matt. And we'll see you next time.